got this one life. Just got this one life. I'd like to think that it would go on forever, but I've got just one try. Yeah, I've got this one try. I remember when we were kids. You lost your parents, I heard the hymns. I swore that day that I would love you forever. If those were my last words, if those were my last words. I might never be a captain on a yellow submarine.
I might never be an actress on a giant silver screen,
but my heart will make a house standing anywhere you be.
and my love will hold the diamonds shining far as you can see.
When we grow old with me. When we grow old with me. You've got this one light that shines all my life.
Just like a rose blooming out from this desert.
Oh, I saw these two eyes. Yeah, I saw your two eyes. I might never be a singer who's been knighted by the queen.
I might never be a model in a fashion magazine,
but my heart will make a house standing anywhere you be.
and my love will hold the diamonds shining far as you can see.
When we grow old with me. When we grow old with me. As people dance from your window, if you see an Irish band, and there I stand, guitar in hand, asking for my love if I could be a man. And so when we grow old with me.
I'm fed up with changes. Come pick me up, cause I just wanna see the light. I wanna be weightless. Teach me to fly, I won't be coming down. Could somebody wake me up? I don't wanna be here and let the world pass me by. Yeah, I just see her face wherever I look. She's standing in the crowd. I don't want to, but I'm gonna try. When she left me, yeah, let a little bit inside. You know, maybe things are gonna be alright. Cause I just wanna see the light. so sick of waiting and getting too restless to be in this dusty town. I've heard of this place where people forget and you get another try. So come open up my door. I don't wanna be here and let the world pass me by. I won't see your face wherever I look. I'm blinded by the light. So let go. I don't want to, but I'm gonna try. When she left me, yeah, died a little bit inside. You know, maybe things are gonna be alright. 'Cause I just wanna see the light. Yeah, I just wanna see the light. See the light.
Take everything we got, give it an honest shot. Turning it on and off, we've been sliding. Riding the highest dream, keeping the fire real. I call for you. Hold your gun, cut the wire. Aim for fun, wanna beat this maze, let's go deeper. I wanna reach it all, taking a leap or fall. I'll get to you. Hold your gun, cut the wire, aim for fun, with a light to fire. I've been flying up the ceiling, taken by this feeling. Maybe we're invincible at last. Fueling every engine, power is descending. Maybe we're invincible. Hold your gun, cut the wire, aim for fun, with a light to fire. I've been flying off the ceiling, taken by this feeling. Maybe we're invincible. I've been flying.
Do what it takes to make you believe. With my heart on hyperdrive, we do what we want, but when I'm free, with our hearts on hyperdrive.
Hello, Chatto! It's Saturdat! Coming up today on Building a Nation with Treaty United, we have much to talk about with FM23 in the pipeline. In addition to that, of course, we have Europa...
Just got back
Europa
from the
Champions
shop.
League.
Did he miss anything? It still march, right?
I couldn't make it through. Europa Champion... What is that? What is that? Fucked it. Massively fucked it. In addition, you're going to love this, my buttons aren't working. I think what happened was, right, let me just turn the sound down a little bit, because all of my buttons are broken, which is just spectacular. So, minus that, I mean, I deserve it, honestly. I'll take a level with that, because we can even it out to a 4.5. So, oh, my screen has just... That was bizarre. My left monitor just flashed off as well. Oh, good. It's a perfect start to things. Rad Nauseum, thank you very much for the 30 bastard months. I would do sub-hype in chat, but unfortunately, my buttons are broken. So, chat, I'm going to need you today to help me with the sub-hypes. So, but seriously, thank you so much for the 30 months. Oh, it's still March. It is, yes. It's still March. It's fine. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, I got stuck between saying UEFA Champions League and Europa League, and ended up saying Europa Champions League. So there we go. Oh, good God. So, yeah, here we are. Plan today, quite simply, my friends, is stream until we get knocked out. And what are the other Irish sides? Well, stream until there's no Irish sides left, basically. That is rude. It's very rude, I know. Have I watched the new... No, I thought I'd skip it. Hang on, trailer. By trailer, do you mean the 42-minute trailer? But just... or is there a different video that I've missed? Potentially. There might have been. I'm not sure what could possibly be in it, though. Thoughts on the feature reveal? I'm still waiting for it. One of these days, I'm waiting for it, friends. Don't worry. We'll get into that. Let's just get into a game, and then we can talk about that. Now, we will discuss the big news, ironic question. No, what big news have we got? I think I've already set the team up and everything. Look at me being all prepared, like, oh, also notice Dino Jedvar being up front for them. I have sold a couple of players. I'll update you on that in a second. So Peter Christensen's gone for like 80 million quid. But luckily, it's not too bad because, well, you can see this team is looking absolutely fucking stacked at the moment. I have brought a couple of guys in as well, which I'll talk to you guys about in a second. Mariners in the playoffs. Hang on. That's baseball, right? That's Seattle Mariners. Seattle Mariners, I think. I like to look at the squad planner. I don't. I'll talk to you more about why in a second, actually. I feel like it's all very well me saying, but I have to give reasons, of course. I do have the blog post up as well, because none of you guys have actually read through the blog post. Yeah, Christensen has gone because... there is a reason. I'll explain this. Basically, our new striker has just been performing so much better than him, and with some other factors, it felt like the right... The other reason, basically, is he was 1 year left on his deal, and he did... All right, so actually, the main reason I had to sell him was because... Do you remember during the last stream when he basically had that massive shit fit because I didn't play him while he was on international duty at the World Cup? He has then parlayed that into refusing to sign a new contract ever and was going to explore his options. So I was like, right, that's enough of you. Off you go. Here's £75 million Inter. Thank you very much. So that's what happened with that. But yeah, very frustrating. I would have liked to have kept him, but I wasn't going to keep a player around, and he was being a wemp. Exactly. And we can't keep wemps around the club, chat. It's just not on. So, Irish sides. Mulder versus Shamrock. We've got Derry City, Newcastle. Oh. See, the FM Instagram video, I didn't. Is that the one that Tom did that brief video on? Because people were telling me about that before. 3:02. Holy shit, right? That's insane. It's lovely to see you, my friend. I've missed your lovely brumminess around here. You're Brummy, aren't you? You're a Villa fan, right? I remember these things. This is a wemp-free zone, exactly. Derry scored. Hey, chat, you were right. I was really pessimistic when I saw that draw Newcastle, but you lot were like, no, they'll beat them. You know what? Maybe you're right. Oh, the AI would have sold him for like... The AI would have let him go for free, let's be honest. That's going to be... Oh my... Hey, look! The Nomads keepers are involved. Dorin Niakshu scores for... Oh, that's a shocker. So basically, what there was 5 things with the feature headlines. I'm going to call them that because that's what they're calling them. We've got the squad planner, which I'm really not bothered by, honestly. I really do believe that it is the squad depth page with some lists that you can adjust, which is fine. It's new stuff, but it's not... I don't think I'd ever use it, honestly. We've got... What have we got? We've got supporter confidence, which for me feels like a new trap to fall into that I can't wait to be horrendously broken because it's going to have to work with other factors. And I think it's just a new way of getting sacked, honestly. Paolo Eduardo with the gifted sub to Solaco. Thank you very much, Paolo. I can't do sub hype, but chat will have to help me. I will do presents, though, because it's a gifted sub, and you've got to respect that. So thank you very much, man. It's very kind of you. So yeah, supporter confidence. I wasn't fussed by that when I saw it the first time, let alone now that I know more about it. There was manager AI, but not transfer AI, just in-game AI. Which, obviously, if it's improved in the game AI, that's always a good thing. It remains to be seen how that actually works. But I would have rather that been more to do with the way that clubs operated as a whole, rather than inside the matches. But, you know, it is what it is. It's an improvement, I suppose. What else was there? Oh, the manager timeline thing, which is just the end of the season review thing, just with some slightly different screens on it. And let's be honest, we skipped that immediately anyway. Most people do anyway. And there was one more. Oh, this keeper is absolutely woeful. This keeper is Kevin Maffler. It's 2-0 to Treaty. Turbovic with another one. But Hungarian players. Yeah, exactly. And there was one other. I can't remember what the fifth one was. Oh, UEFA licenses. Honestly, right? As dumb as this sounds in my mind, the Champions League stuff and some of the stuff that's come with it is actually the most exciting things for me. And I thought that was going to be the opposite of that. I actually genuinely really like the bespoke trophy lift stuff. I don't know if you actually saw them in videos. I actually very much like those. I like the way they've changed the draws, as long as the draws are still skippable, so that you can if you want to. That, if they were unskippable and you had to go through all that, that would be annoying. I'm sure that won't be the case, though. That would be silly. And I also like the fact that they've implemented that for all draws as well, not just for the ones they have the licenses to. I really like that. Genuinely big up that. That's something I can be positive about because I think that's genuinely awesome. It's weird that the Champions League stuff is actually the stuff I'm most excited about, which is mad. But I don't know if you guys have seen, like, I don't know why you would have done, but have you sort of noticed the reception from the general player base? And I don't mean like content creators such as myself and others. I'm sure you've all got our views on, oh, what a strike. But like looking at the YouTube comments and the Twitter thread replies and stuff, there seems to be a very common theme among those, which is, where are the actual headlines? Why has international management not been touched? And what happened to set pieces? The two things especially is international management and set pieces. I'm seeing on virtually every single comment that is vaguely critical of it is those two things. In a World Cup here, man. And maybe, it's a case of the things that would excite me about this game are not the things that would make headline features, and maybe they're those tweetable features. Because maybe that's stuff that doesn't matter to the general player base, but for people like me, maybe that is important, and I'll find tons of stuff in there that I can chew on. Maybe. That's what I'm hoping. Did he really? To be fair, he's not the only one. I've been harping on that for ages, as you know. But I'm not... but have you guys actually read the blog post? Because there was a couple of things in there that I actually thought were kind of interesting, or when they elaborated on certain features, such as... Did you see the stuff about the agents? They elaborated on it a little bit more. Also, Mulder at 1-1 there during the blog post, and it's still 1-0 Derry. So there's one thing I want to highlight in the agent section of that, which I'll show you guys in a minute. I don't know if you might already know what I'm talking about. Can't get the ball. Yeah, we had the same... A lot of people I know had the same problem. Wow, this goalkeeper... That's all through... Oh, it's offside. Where is it, actually, I think? I don't know if Lukic had his hands up. That might be offside. If it's not, then this keeper has had a woeful day. Oh my lord. Their goalkeeper has let in all 3 of these. Where's the blog posted? Hang on, I'll get you a link. Wow, he's literally not saved anything. There's that Rakini, which I also thought was kind of cool. Makes sense as well, like from logistics. How is he only on 6.4? He's directly responsible. I'll get you a link. There you go. That's the link to the features. We're going to go through it in a second anyway. Bear in mind, I opened it on Firefox, so that's probably why it loaded for me. Then again, it loaded on Brave for me as well earlier when I was testing. I think the planet might be useful for some people. From my own personal standpoint, I don't know what I'm going to use it for, honestly. But again, I realize it might be something that some people might find useful, and therefore, fair play, right? But I'm just... It doesn't feel like a headline. None of the stuff there felt like a headline feature, shall we say. Do you know what I mean? It'd be loads of Chrome. There you go then. I'm curious. I'm just very curious about it. Yeah. The no more waiting a month thing, I'm glad, because that doesn't make any sense for that to be the case in the first place. So I'm glad they've just got rid of that. It seemed kind of arbitrary. So that is a good step, honestly. Big up that. Oh, so you might notice Lionel Sierra's back. He refused to go back out on loan. You know the general drill where you get a couple of these guys every year. Daniel Antonio is once again back at the club again. He refused to go back out on loan again to Sligo. He'll probably join them again in the middle of the season, but he doesn't want to join them at the start of the year because they're not in the Champions League. And then midway through the season, he's happy to join them because reasons. Great for new play. I think, the scouting thingy. I honestly think that the scouting stuff looks like it's been simplified rather than if anything, it looks like it's been like almost dumbed down. Even dumbed down. I wonder, this is my theory on the scouting stuff, I wonder if it's been made like that because it's slowly trying to merge the experience of PC players and console players, but it's veering towards the console side of things because that's easier to produce, and it would make it easier for the cross-platform porting and stuff. It looks more simplistic. But maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm happy to be wrong about that, of course. Entire code base for that. I guess. But it's just kind of... If they were going to do that, maybe do that for something that, like, people... They talked a lot in the video about the stories people wanted to tell, but then all the things that they could do to enable people to tell stories they're not doing, and all things that don't enable you to do that they are. I don't know. Yeah, it feels like it's simplified. I realise that, Maureen, but I just thought I'd comment on that anyway. Yeah. Scouting and plan headlines to attract new players. I hope that's the case, but I'm just wondering who's actually going to be attracted by that. I don't understand that. Is that really that attractive to a new player? Maybe it is. Maybe I'm just, like, completely jaded, you know? But let's be honest, the things where they talk about these recruitment focuses, we kind of already have that, no? Let's just have a look at this right now. Like, this email could have been a meeting. Yeah, because we need more meetings to avoid. But I get your point, yeah. That, remember, as well, they've also bulked up recruitment meetings, too. I realize it can be daunting to get into FM. But do you not feel that maybe a better route, instead of dumbing everything down, would have been to increase the quality of the tutorial and making the game easier to ease people in? Maybe by actually having, I don't know, like, make that side of things better. It seems like an odd thing to do. As a tutorial, exactly. Like, seriously, pay someone like Zealand to make a proper tutorial series and just have it bits in the game that pop up. Do you know what I mean? Just something like that. I don't know. Transfer cancelled. Oh, shit, who is it? Oh, it's not. It's going to be Bello, isn't it? Fuck's sake. Hey, look. I bet this is not fixed for next year. So I'd managed to negotiate Diego Bello to go to Shamrock Rovers on loan and Ronald Torres to go to Derry City on loan. But of course, the game doesn't count our final day as urgent enough to actually push the transfers through. Ah, dear. Graphic designer stream. So, with things like the recruitment focus they talked about, right? Wait, where is it? No, wrong one. Right? It's kind of just a more beefy version of this, isn't it? Really? With some slightly different additions to it. Like, it's not... Obviously, there's more things you can add to it, but it's not like... I don't know. It doesn't feel that different to me. But we'll see. But what I was going to say is, So this is the headline features blog, as it were. Hey, Marco. Where was the thing I wanted to show you? God, where was it? I was reading this in... It might have been in here, actually. Scouting enhancement. It's the agent thing. Here we go. Here we go. Canada Danish. Thank you for the follow.
They are building it now.
Yeah, Trubovic won the Ballon d'Or again, which was pretty damn sick for him. He got like 49 assists last season. I didn't even notice it. So, where is it? Where has it gone? Is it there? Yeah, here we go. Here we go. This is the bit that intrigued me. On the occasions when a move is a non-starter, you'll now get more of an explanation of why, so that you have a better idea of what success you'll need to have in order to persuade the player to join your club. This, to me, hopefully, is a move away from vague red nonsense at this stage in my career, or doesn't think he's going to get the playing time with syntactical errors that doesn't make sense, stuff like that. If a player isn't going to join me, I want to know exactly why. And that, to me, hints at that potentially being a thing. Maybe. That was the one part of that that stood out to me as going, okay, intriguing. It might get rid of purpling too. Now, of course, that doesn't mean it will, but the fact that it's there makes me excited that it could potentially mean that. So, yeah, I think you're right. It's sort of just, yeah. So a couple of things to catch you up on, by the way. I did make a couple of signings, a couple of sales, as I mentioned. So the sales, obviously, I already told you about Peter Christensen. £75 million to Inter. Bear in mind, 1 year left on his contract at the time. I can't believe we got 75 million for him, honestly. Genuinely maddened. So at one point, I'd accepted a £30 million bid from Liverpool, and then we had a situation like happened with that random youth player, where clubs just kept bidding and bidding and bidding and bidding and bidding, and got him up to 75 million before the sale eventually went through. So we'll take that. For a player that had 1 year left on his deal, I was okay with that, and he wasn't going to sign a new deal. I also sold Andres Trotter to Real Madrid for £43 million, because he was being a bellend and wouldn't go back out on loan to Sligo. I do have a 50% clause on him as well. Oh, he could have had a test. He could have, but he was being a wemp because he was complaining about me not playing him while he was on international duty at the World Cup. Because that's the thing. Maybe we could fix that. Hey, how about that? Even the licensing part. I think the licensing part was cool to look at, but you've hit the nail on the head. That's pretty much what it is, isn't it? I also think that, and you'll have seen this from other content creators as well, it didn't need to be 42 minutes long. They could have also broken that down into individual videos and had way more hype around it for each individual thing. It almost feels like some of it was trying to be buried a little bit. Oh, we do have the transfer bump, by the way, yes. So you'll see now we've got our play. They've dropped in value again, but they are at least more than they were before. See an explanation of how much scouting has been completed on the player. The stages of the scouting are now indicated as none, minimal, reasonable, and extensive. Extensive lets manager know the recruitment staff have done a full assessment of the player. Yeah, although, again, that does seem a bit dumbed down again. And I wonder if that's going to be... I don't know. It's hard to know what that means until I actually have a chance to test it at some point. You know, when the beta comes out, we'll have a chance to look at it properly and then see what that actually means. Without actually seeing it in action, it's really hard to know what that's actually going to mean for us, if you like. I also brought in a couple of youngsters to play centre-back for us, because, you know, we were lacking a few, like, randos. So Andres Garcia, kind of crap, but he joined us anyway. There's one guy I actually quite like, though. We've got Humberto Uribe, again, centre-back. But there's one guy I genuinely like. I got this guy on a free transfer, essentially. I paid to have him come, like, 6 months early. This is Zen El Shala from Liverpool, to give us some backup in the centre-back spots when we want to rotate the squad around. He could have joined on a free in the summer, but I paid the £3 million to get him now, because I think that he was worth the £3 million to bring in, even at 33 years old, just to give us that a bit of depth. One other thing I did on a free transfer, but he doesn't join us until the summer, is just to make sure that we do have a little bit of backup in our striker role. I got Nino Butch from PSG on a free transfer. I was like, you know what? If he's available and he wants to join us for free. Last stream will be next Thursday, which will be the final Treaty United stream. Supporter profiles are quite interesting. As long as it's dynamic, it's not going to be dynamic, is it? That's the problem. You're going to start with a tiny club, and then they'll have the same supporter profile when they're the champions of Europe. That right there is going to be the issue, I suspect. You know? Feature reveal. Oh, we're still talking about... I suspect we're going to be talking about it all day, Captain Backlog, honestly. You'll have more of an idea why... One thing I did like about the scouting, actually, is the near-miss thing. Because I think a lot of the problem with scouting and why you never get any players in your scout reports is because if a player doesn't meet the exact requirements that your scout has given themselves, they'll just ignore them. The near-miss thing actually could help you find much better players. Beta save. Oh, yeah, sorry. So beta save, Rad, we're doing Dundee United for a little bit longer than the beta, just to give ourselves a chance. Young talents, maybe, Anna, if it depends on time, honestly, because I'm going to be away for 10 days. So it's just a question of time and whether I can actually find any. The reason I took a year off of doing the scouting is so that we could come back with a bigger bunch of scouting for the final season. Why Dundee United? Because they've done really, really well in this save. And they're a bit of a meme side at the moment. And we thought it'd be fun to just do Scotland. Since I'm always being asked to do Scotland. Also, what happened in the other games? Let me just quickly check that. Bremer's making positive. Good. He's still not as good as the other lad, but it's good to see. Right, so we did well. Modern Shamrock. You know, a 1-1 draw away from home for Shamrock is actually fine. And Derry City, winning at Newcastle is genuinely amazing. Oh, and because we can do the Crocodile Dundee United joke. He's never done Greece before. That's true. And that sadly continues. Hey, Green Addicted. No, basically, it's so we can do the whole can you do Scotland meme, essentially. That's the reason for it. So that's a good day for us, actually. Also, yeah, I've done Scotland, and I'll now have done Dundee. We're doing Dundee United. Dundee United? Dundee United, chat. That's Jackson Mills' old side. Dundee United, because they're the big boys in Scotland at the moment. 11.6, okay. Does that help us gain on Germany or not? It does, I think. Oh, it moves us above Germany again. We're heading back to 5th. The intro. Oh, well, you're all going to be in it, chat. Those of you that were in that stream that day, I've already got like 50. I've saved 50 chat messages from that day in individual picture files to get you in there. Yeah, that'll be the next the meme next year. Can we do Greece? When for some reason Greece become outrageous for no reason. He gave me a shout earlier. How do you mean? But also, speaking of that, how fucking sick is that? Not the shout out thing. That's very nice of him. I would like some context to that, but yeah, when I turned my computer on earlier, I turned on Twitch, I saw RDF was on the front page. I was just like, fucking yes! That's amazing. Things you just love to see. I excluded you. It's true. It's just bullying and attrition, Anarith. Can we do Burundi? Oh, that's kind. And then no one said me, so he had to be like, come on, you got to give some credit to Matt sometime. Hello, Pog. Ooh. Iced coffee on the house. How's it going? Yeah. Look, chat. Pog's wearing a top that doesn't show off her abs. Look, she does own t-shirts that actually have like a midriff part of them. Crazy times, eh? Look at that. Can we do Greek? Yeah, sure, we can do the ABC Family Show Greek. Quality show. Admittedly. Oh, she's gone now. As if they're going to be able to read all that. You damn near knocked my coffee all over my Namibian Illuminati. Just say. Seem to be ripped. That's so old man yells at cloud, isn't it? Oh, hello. Excuse me, sir. There's a finger in my way. That is iced coffee, yeah. Wow, thank you so much for the prime. That's so kind of you. Welcome. I instinctively pressed the hype button, but I can't do it. Thank you, Obbo, for the hype. Let's get some sub hype. There we go. How do I drink iced coffee like that? Well, hang on, I'll show you. So it's on the desk, and then I take my hand like that. Kevin, and then you swallow it. I can do it again if we need any. Sorry, I'm being a dick, I realise. Without a straw? Hang on, I'll show you again.
Just play the fucking game. Stop being a shithouse.
You missed it on Thursday. Someone came in and was just like, you talk too much. I
saw you sat in silence for 5 minutes. I saw.
I was just reading the bear book.
I called you a shit.
Oh, I'm just messing about. Oh, no, that's the content you're here for. To be fair, I normally do have a straw sometimes. But it's quite large blocks of ice, so it doesn't matter so much. The straw does make it bad. No, I agree. I normally do have a straw. Oh, it was great. I don't know when it was. I don't think anyone clipped it. It was quite a long clip. I don't know who it was. It was a first-time chatter as well, which is why my brain immediately went to... have to be careful how I play this. But it was basically along the lines of, you know, you talk too much versus you speak really fast, etc. And I took that personally. So I just stopped speaking for like 30 seconds. Then I just picked up the book and just sat there reading it with my feet on the desk for like a minute and a half. I just love shit like that. It's so fun. I am a shithouse. It's what I do. Cocktail umbrella. Now you're talking. That's the drill. Oh, I nearly pressed. I wonder if it was the same guy that said I talked too much on a video a couple of weeks ago. How do you sit for so long? That's a better question, honestly. It's not a very comfortable chair either. I need to get one of those proper nice, like, Herman Miller chairs, whatever they're called. 6-0. Chiggy. See a funny injury? Hell yeah. Disappointed to report that striker Luca Rastelli arrived at the club today having suffered damaged cruciate ligaments after falling over a street sign. Yes. More of that, please, FM. See, if they come out and said, this will happen more, I'll be all over it. But is it falling out of a loft? That might be one of my favourite highlights of FM22 was the player falling out of a loft. For all that shit they talked about in that trailer about wanting to create stories, that's how you create stories. Look, I'm finished like someone missed the bat pole. And yet, a friend of mine nicked one from work, and he said it was one of the most comfortable chairs he's ever sat on, like to the point where he'll like fall asleep in it, which is probably not a good thing. You sure? Genuinely, I've had people on videos being like, who is this Pog? What is Pog? Because I reference Pog in videos sometimes without actually showing her or referencing it. And I think, yeah, it's because Pog has not really been a character up until I started streaming, if you like. Yeah, like CK3 shit. Give me that. I want my player to usurp me. Damn it. 17th. Speaking of the Hall of Fame, actually, have we moved up that at all? Oh, shit. Chat, we be 14th now. I'm coming for you, Neymar and Thomas Tuchel. I reckon we could probably get a few of those guys, actually. One more Champions League win could get us top 10, I reckon. Mabes? Make a Memich offer. Oh, okay, it's not negotiable. I tried to send them to them before they were having it. Douglas questions Treaty's lack of... Who are you? Brother, the reason is because I've been helping you. My brother in Christ, Jesus. Your star goalkeeper has got glandular fever. Yeah, damn right, I want a seduction focus. I want intrigue. I want to be able to send my spy master. Now, there's you go. A new role, spy master. I can send him in, and he can peer through the bushes and watch someone else's trading. Totally up for that. Go on and continue to find them. Yeah, I've heard about that, Comrade, actually. I need to keep an eye out for that. Because, like, these gaming chairs are, like, vaguely... I've had to make this chair comfortable. I have these, like, memory foam cushions. I don't know if you can actually see them. No, you can't. I have these, like, memory foam cushions that I have strapped around the arms. They're designed for these sort of chairs. But it's so much better. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Very Bielsa. Ton of Asian. Oh, he has. No, the reason Neymar's up there is because he's won a load of Copa Libertadores. An escape tunnel in the stadium. Yes, that sounds amazing. Be like the Great Escape. But less football related. When is the next game against... Oh, God, that's ages away. In that case, who do I want? Paredes there. We'll go with Valev there. Shot. Oh, wait, why am I playing that system? Did I play that system against... I think I might have played the wrong tactic against Galatasaray now. I'm convinced of it. We still won 4-0, so it didn't matter too much. But I'm fairly certain I was showing someone a tactic on a stream last week. On the last stream, and I just forgot to switch it back. Promote strike punch. Oh, for sure. No, I guarantee that's what they do. I reckon they're part of the reason why my hip flexors are so unbelievably tight. Like, it's crazy. One of the things I've noticed when getting back into running is just how tight my hip flexors are. It's incredible. Thunderbird 1 to shoot out. There you go. You can have you have to sign Virgil van Dijk for that to work. But things like that is what enables you to tell the stories. And that's why I've always wanted the random events. What is going on here? Are we just like a foul magnet like we were last season? For those who missed it on Thursday's stream, we had a game. You might have seen it on Twitter, though. We had a game against Drogheda where they got 5 red cards. 14 yellows and 5 reds. And the game didn't stop. Mad. Gotta get me those tight hip... No, you don't want tight hip flexors. Trust me, it's bad. It's really bad. Oddling. Oh, I love seeing my scout report so empty. I'm gonna sort it out for next time. No, it's actually 4 reds. Sorry, you can't... 4 reds is the maximum you're allowed to have. You have to have a minimum of 7 players on the pitch, as far as I'm aware. So the 5th red should have caused the game to be abandoned. But I suspect that the chances of getting 5 red cards in a single match for the same team are so slim that they probably thought it would never come up. I've never seen anyone else get that. I've never even had more than 3, like we just saw there, for the same team. It's mad. Oh. But what did you lot think of the feature stuff? Because it's all very well me banging on about it, but what do you lot think of it? Are you glad? Not really, no. I feel like it's been simplified for no reason, almost. Tries to cash it. I'm honestly, yeah. It could have been a weird quirk of the simulator games. Yeah, that's a good point, honestly. I agree with you to an extent, yeah. David Fell, thank you so much for the 8 months. Chat, help me out with the sub hype. My buttons are still broked.
Up the algorithm ultra.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the 8 months. How are you this fine Saturday? Part of it does feel like it's been simplified for console. That's my theory on it. What on earth? Who are you? Oh, it's the guy they signed off of Shamrock Rovers. Good start for him, it would appear. Is there a new one? Is this a new... Oh, okay. Look, literally, first comment, improve international football. Because that's all anyone wants. People don't... For me, there's just... I don't see that being a thing you'll see much of, honestly. Other Irish teams do. Oh, shit, yeah, you're right, they're second legs, didn't they? Fuck. Shamrock are through. So Shamrock must have beat Mulder in the second leg. They had to have done, otherwise they literally couldn't have got through. 1-0. Yes, go on, lads. Who did Sligo get? Zenit away. Or Zenit. They can take them. Please show me Derry City. Please show me Derry City. Please show me Derry City. Yes! They beat Newcastle home and away. Derry City just beat Newcastle home and away. Come on, Derry City. This is more like it. And where are Bows? Fenerbahce. You know. You do be feeling like it, Maureen, yeah. I worry that those are the headline things. But yeah, Barlatown still in is genuinely surprising. Who did they beat? Barlatown of Wales beat Sean. And Derry got Red Star. Derry could beat Red Star. Improved animations. To be fair, last year they did actually do quite an enormous upgrade to the animations in the match engine, and I praised it at the time because I still think it looks fantastic, and I feel like it's been way less predictable in the matches. There's still a few things that are predictable, but you know how bad it was. One thing that did worry me a little bit is they mentioned about goalkeepers saving more one-on-ones, and I'm like, more one-on-ones? I think we need to have... They save enough of them already as it is. It's bizarre, isn't it, Marco, how that happens? We should have a nice little bump. That should take us above 12, right? 12.3. We're sitting number 4 on the year. Extending our gap over Germany. We're never catching Scotland this year because they're doing mad things. But in the following seasons, we could catch this right back up again, I'd say. It does look better. Yeah, I must admit, the animation definitely looks better. I think if keepers are going to save more of them, there needs to be less of them in general. So there need to be more chances created slightly differently. In order... I think that was my theory, that there were just too many of them in the first place. And so they were being... missed at an above average... Actually, no, my theory was that certain highlights were being shown incorrectly and that it was a low XG chance and the game was assigning it a highlight animation that made it look like a better chance than it was supposed to be in the underlying match engine calculations, and that's why so many one-on-ones were appearing and so many were being missed, because in the game's mind it was like a 1.3, like a 0.15 chance, whereas you're seeing what looks like a 0.3 to 0.4 quality chance. That's why I think it... I'd love to do an experiment like that and actually look through all those chances, plot them on a curve, and see if those mid-range ones are the ones that are appearing loads that are being missed. But that would take way too much time. Like, I don't know, all I want really out of FM23 is just the things that are wrong with FM22 to be fixed, and like I don't know. It would have been... It just feels like such a missed opportunity to not have invested stuff in international management this year, with the World Cup being literally weeks after the release. Oh, fair play. Alcott was fantastic. He did a brilliant job presenting that. He was professional, engaging, charismatic. He did it perfectly. And there is Belgian... Yeah, the Belgian league licenses. And there was one other license I forgot. Oh, Manchester City and obviously Juve have got licenses as well now. What can be done with international management? Well, I have an enormous list, and so does chat. I know Mike has an enormous list as well. So there's a lot of things you could do with it, honestly. We were actually talking about the exact things you could do with it on the last stream. Oh god, why have you got that? I don't have mentoring. That seems like a bad idea. Maybe I'll have to play the DLF a little bit more. I know, rip the fighting zebras. I'm just worried about the supporter confidence thing being incredibly unbalanced and also not dynamic to the point where it will... they'll have small club mentality when you're champions of Europe. And I think that could be genuinely terrifying for anyone doing a long-term save, because if that doesn't adjust on the fly in any kind of also, you know how they talked about, oh, games against your fierce rivals your supporters care about more? Yeah, it'd be weird. It'd be nice if I could get some fierce rivals. That'd be good, wouldn't it, if dynamic rivalries enabled me to have those rivals in the first place. Honestly, yeah, they could literally do anything with international management that would make it better. That'd be incredible. I'm incredibly interested in that as well, David. I believe part of that is because that's the sort of stuff I think I'd care about more anyway. So I'm hoping that that's where I'm going to see stuff that I'm like, okay, intriguing. Yeah, tested it with Juve and Man City and it's fine, yeah. So what development is between console and PC? Yeah, maybe they have. Pyro is much more... Oh, you're not going to see that. What you will see, though, is your fans getting you sacked despite... It just feels like another thing that can ruin your save and doesn't... Whenever something like that's brought in, I'm always like, okay, what is this adding that is positive to my experience here? And I can't think what that's going to do that is going to make it more fun to play rather than just pitfalls for you to fall into, like bear traps laid around the woods in the dark. Like, it feels like a whole new set of rakes for the Sideshow Bob-esque player to step on. And that's what I'm concerned about. But, I don't know. Again, it's one of these things where until I can actually have a chance to play it like you lot, I don't know. AI management. Yeah, I just wish that the AI management thing extended to the way AI clubs handle transfers and stuff. Maybe if you're a fan favorite, maybe, but maybe. But then also, if the club's performing poorly, my guess is if you've got hardcore fans, they're not going to care about that. They'll just want you sacked. A lot of tradition fans will push back if you just bring in Brazilian Wonder Kids. True. But I think the problem with that, again, is it kind of removes the ability for you to play FM the way you want. If that makes sense. You can't then go, I want to do a save where I do X at Y, because the game's got stuff that's hard-coded into it to make it basically impossible for you to do that. Do you know what I mean? So, for example, like, you know Clates is doing his Hertha Brazil thing at the moment right now. What if supporter confidence means that they wouldn't like it if he signed Brazilian players for that exact reason, and then makes that entire save concept impossible for no reason, essentially? Just an example there. I think it's going to lead to... Because I suspect that it's going to be really imbalanced during the beta period, and I think you're going to see a lot of people randomly being sacked for no reason. More than the Glazers, for example. Yeah, but... I don't know. With stuff like that, it just worries me that you're just going to see new ways for your save to be randomly ruined out of nowhere. You're 12 seasons in, your supporter confidence just has some weird bug in it that you don't notice, and then, hey, you're sacked. Good luck. You know? I worry. But I'm just trying to read the room as far as, like... I've read a lot of the YouTube comments on the video, and there seems to be a general consensus that I'm seeing that when someone is critical, it is, why is there no changes to international management? And people have obviously talked about the set pieces thing. The set pieces thing I understand a little bit more from a technical standpoint as to why that would be very difficult to overhaul so easily, but I still think it does need work. But the international management thing, I'm just baffled by, honestly. If I had to choose between the game looking great and a much needed improvement, or knowing how my fans are, I would definitely go for the lap. Yeah. I suppose, but I would like to choose the third option, which is we actually improve things that need improving. I feel like there's always a third choice, which is maybe we should fix the things that are already broken. And hopefully they have. Let's be honest. The stuff that's broken in it right now should not be broken next year. And honestly, I'll be happy with just that. Like, that alone would make me happy. The licenses thing would definitely have to be pushed. There's no way they could break those licenses and not make that a headline feature. That just makes sense. And also, some of the things I was most excited about was some of the stuff I saw in the licenses section, genuinely. The bespoke trophy celebrations I think are cool. The changes to the draws I actually think are cool. It adds a bit of pageantry and storytelling. That stuff I genuinely really like. Derry City are really smashing it this year so far. So big up them. They've barely played any games yet, but they'll get there. I might be implying it more in. But that's the thing. They know that stuff's broken. It's not a surprise, and hopefully that stuff will be fixed first. You'd like to think that the first port of call for a new game would be, right, let's fix the stuff that's broken in the previous one, then we'll start working on new stuff. I hope that's the way it works, but I don't think it is. But we never know. I think the fan supporter stuff will be fine if it is dynamic in the sense that it adjusts with you over time. It has to be. Don't mind if their covers winning games, except dodgy owners, hates. Yeah, but that's what I mean. That's what I mean, Nobito. So it feels like to me, it's a way of you getting sacked even faster if things start to turn. I worry about things like that. Great. Oh yeah, no, the draws are genuinely cool. I think it's great. I'm so glad that's added. I like the fact that they didn't just go, right, we're only putting this new update of the draws into these specific competitions that we have licenses for. They've upgraded all the draws. I feel almost like if you're building a new draw mechanic, you kind of have to, but I'm glad that they did that. So you don't end up with a transfer deadline day situation again. Did Planner surpass my expectations? No. I had very low expectations of it, and it was not met. As far as I can work out, Planner is just the squad depth screen with the ability to reorder some players and have multiple seasons on it and have, I say future transfers, you can do that as well. I'm not sure what, but that's just my opinion. I feel like people will get used out of it though. Salty Scotsman, thank you for the 10 months, my friend. Can we get some sub hype for the Salty Scotsman? You'd hope so, Nobito, but bear in mind, our expectations now, every season, are like this: win Champions League. I wonder if maybe you don't win the Champions League one season or reach the final, because, you know, that's a bit weird to expect that every single season. Will that then come back to haunt you, potentially? I don't know. It's interesting, though. The sleeve logos thing as well, actually, is kind of interesting. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Does that apply to all leagues, or is that only certain leagues? Because that is interesting, though. I just think, yeah, I think the way it was rolled out was not ideal for them from a marketing standpoint. I think that a 42-minute video is... I just don't think that's how you would build hype about those features. Do you know what I mean? Like, have each one highlighted in its own video, which is like less than 10 minutes long. Snappy, snappy, snappy. Show me some stuff. Build that energy out. Make it a thing. It's odd that it was just all kind of dumped out once, honestly. And I'm not the only one that thinks that. As you'll have seen from, I think, Ben, I'm very certain, says something like this on Twitter. That's what I mean, Alfie. I think the squad planner thing, if it was just introduced, be like, oh yeah, this is a new thing you can kind of do, I'd be totally fine with that. But the fact that it's a headline feature is what worries me, I guess. Well, yeah, I think it's just odd. Games be banned for more than 4 red cards. Isn't there a way to add it yourself? Really? But that's definitely in the laws of the game, isn't it? Like, you have to have a minimum of 7 outfield players. Sorry, 7 players, as far as I'm aware. I might be wrong about that. Oh, it's Galatasaray, isn't it? Not that it matters too much. We're 4-0 up from the first leg. So it's all good. Announcing the features in a manner that creates more buzz. Maybe. But I think it's also important to realise that with the content creator side of things, SI still have to be immensely careful with how closely they actually associate with us as a group, because of the fact that all of us use unlicensed badges, faces, all that stuff that SI don't have licenses to. And I think even interacting with us in that way could give an air of endorsing it in some way, which is why there's that distance between them and us. And that's not their fault. For me, anyway. That's why that's the way that it is. That it just makes sense. Because none of us, you know, we all use the unlicensed stuff, and they can't really be seen to endorse that. In fact, we know they can't. It's just blatantly obvious. So that's the reason why that would never really work. Yeah, I think the squad planner for me, I will use it. The way I will use it is at the end of a season with Blue Star, on YouTube especially, it will be good for me to do that thing I do when I'm planning transfer window. But I only do that for content. I don't do that when I'm doing a normal save. the only reason I do that is because I like to give people a top-down view of what's actually going on and the plans for the transfer window. But I only do that from a content creator's perspective. If I was playing that save off stream or off camera, I would not be doing that at all. I'd just be going straight into it myself. So that's interesting. Are these guys second leg or first leg? I assume they're first leg. So we've got Shamrock and Sligo there. Wait, no, that's... They were away, weren't they? Shit, there might have been... Hang on a minute. I've got to check this. I was wondering if they've already played first legs. Shamrock Rovers drew 1-0 with Atalanta. Zenit beat Sligo 2-0. That's shit. Derry City beat Red Star 2-0. Bows lost 1-0 to Fenerbahce, but that's not awful. If they've got the home leg there. We'll see. Wait, they are at home, right? Yes, okay. Big holes to be dug out of. Treaty in the future stream Thursday. It will be a Thursday, but it isn't next Thursday. Next Thursday coming is the last Treaty stream, but it's not the looking forward stream. That's going to be probably the 20th of October because I'm away for 10 days. So I'm away from next Friday evening until the following Sunday. So I'm trying to wrap up everything content-wise that needs to be done, like actual content-wise, before then. And then that week after I come back will be the looking forward streams. The Nomad stream for looking forward might be one in the evening, so it meets more of the like expectations of regular viewers to Nomads. But I'll probably cop it up anyway. It'll be made into a video anyway. No Tuesday stream. Yeah. Wait, hang on. What? Where's no Tuesday stream? Next week there will be a Tuesday stream as well, yes. And then Thursday as well. It's next Friday I'm away from. Or the evening anyway. How dare I take time off? It's the only time of year I can even, like, justify it. Plan for F23. So, I really need to make a command for this. Twitch beta, Dundee United. Can we do Scotland? YouTube beta, there isn't going to be a beta save per se. I've got other plans. It's Derry already 2-0 up. There's going to be other stuff I'm doing there. And the YouTube main save is going to be Blue Star, Newcastle Blue Star. Main Twitch save is MTK Budapest Building a Nation. We do need a plans command. Yeah, I was going to do that this morning, actually, but I got out of bed late. Oh, we scored. I think. We'll miss the last 3. Oh, that's... But don't worry, the looking forward stream is going to be absolutely poggy. Because we're going to be in like 2,100. Which is just insane. Work on the days... I mean, I do work because this is my job. So, I'm working 6 days a week. So any day I'm not streaming other than Sunday, I'm working on videos. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday is video days. And then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is stream days. And then obviously time around that is admin and various stuff that needs to be done to sort of keep things cracking. Bo's winning. Excellent. Shamrock winning. Hello. This is going... Apart from this. This is looking okay at the moment. He said, speaking far too soon. Come on, another one, please. Ah. So my plan to keep the looking forward stream somewhat not expedited so much as 2-0. Fuck yes. Is we'll do what we did last time where I open up the request queue for like a 10-minute slot. People go as many as they want in that point. Then I'll close it again. And then obviously if we run out of requests, I can just open it back up again and like drip feed it. Because they'll be so cheap that pretty much anyone who's watched the stream for like 10 minutes will be able to get like a request, if not more. Speaking far too soon, too much and too fast. Damn right, especially on the too fast. I have it set to Wednesday, Saturday matches, and it forces them all into the same day. It was an accident at first, but then we kind of liked what it did for the streams, so we just kept it. Hey, DP. Tuesday will be not the final. If we get through to the final, it will be today, like we did it last time around. So on Tuesday, we won the Champions League from straight through this. So if we get to the final, we will be playing it today. The plan today is basically we stream until there's no more Irish sides left in Europe. Including ourselves, of course. But if we did get to the final, it wouldn't be like full match. We did it on like extended highlights last time around. Couldn't manage in France and Germany. Pretty hard. That's kind of an interesting one, actually. Getting your affiliates to win their leagues. Depends on who the affiliates are, I guess. I hadn't really thought about that. It's quite a challenge, to be fair. Who are the teams? Ending in half an hour. How dare you? We're 4-0 up, my friends. We beat Man United on the final on Tuesday. We were pretty good at it. It's probably our best performance in the final, I'd say. We still end up going to extra time, unfortunately, but then Manea scored in extra time, and then Valev got one in the 120th minute to kill the tie off, so it was 3-1 in the end to win the final for us, which was pretty sick, which was back-to-back finals. And at the moment, we're looking pretty strong. Obviously, Galatasaray is not a Liverpool as an affiliate. Really? That would be really kind of nice for us to get some early loans. Because, I mean, look how important it was when we got Strasbourg as an affiliate. If they actually give us some cool loans. Oh, it's in. 5-0. Nice. Torino and Zaragoza. Yeah, I can see how that would be tough. Hang on, you managed to get Torino and Zaragoza to win. That's a very... I had never thought about that as an idea for a challenge, Nefcleft. So hang on, let me just understand this. So the challenge in your save is to manage your club, obviously, but have the affiliate clubs in other leagues that you have win their respective leagues. Presumably you do that by loaning them loads of players. That's a really interesting idea for a challenge. I like that. Never thought about that before. AC Champ, thank you for the follow. Hope you're having a lovely Saturday morning. I really like that. How many affiliates are you trying to do it with? Is it 4 or... And does it have to be in the same season, or do you just need one of them to win it at any one time? How many seasons are you? Yeah, it's like creating a Football City group. It is, yeah. And I suppose you'd have to start... Do you ever have the problem with your board randomly cancelling affiliates, though? Given how... Bear in mind, chat, we've now lost Starbeck as an affiliate as well, because the board just randomly cancelled it. Has that happened in your save, or is this just an issue I'm plagued with for no reason? There's a side challenge for one league while doing it. Do you know what? Honestly, Maureen, I would not be opposed to that as a side bet. Side bet? As a side challenge for building a nation hungry. To pick a team in another league, another nation that's never won a title, and then get them to win one. That would be kind of fun, actually. It's like a little side mission. Oh, so fun. My camera's frozen. You love to see it. Let me pause that there. I love the creativity of people with coming up with saves. You think like I do, Nefcleft. How can I do a save that is completely like contradictory to what football is like, and then just go for it? I love that kind of attitude towards saves. It's great. It's probably why I get so disappointed with FM all the time. It's like, why isn't this game catering to my weird whims? Oh dear. You've not had an affiliate cancelled. I wonder why that is. Bear in mind, I get mine cancelled basically every other year. If I get an affiliate, they just cancel it a year or two later, being like, actually, they just say it. And then they don't let me have a new one normally. Oh, it's not offside. Empty gig at 1869. Would make achieving the whole 80. Yeah, if you've got no affiliates, technically nothing to win. It's all good. Technically, you've won before you've even started. Oh, shit. Shamrock Rovers memeing it as ever. They do lead away at Atalanta, but they have now got a red card in the 69th minute, and Bows have now conceded. Oh, is this where it all goes wrong? Sligo winning in the 69th minute as well. Ah, dear. Hey, Jessica. Like, there's still good stuff happening here, but I am concerned. Also, why did I start Bilbia instead of Valev today? I might get Schaller in for Saki. And Boggy for a little bit. We're comfortable now. Still down on aggregate. Yeah, Sligo's still down on aggregate. Bow's now level on ag. Derry City are 4-1 up, so they're fine. It's the Shamrock one that worries me. Oh, balls. Oh, wait on, no. That game's getting interesting. A lower comps in the first or second knockout round. This is the second knockout round you're seeing right now. So they're all through to it. We have 4 tides in total. Bows still need another goal. Well, they could go to penalties potentially, but... Oh, Shamrock, if they just hold on. If they hold on, we need... Sligo don't need another goal. Come on, Sligs. Oh, dear. Smithy! Thank you for the 15 months. Once again, I just instinctively pressed that damn button. Can we get some sub-hype in the chat for Smithy? Thank you very much, mate. That's very kind of you. Oh, dear. The small club you made great will find it harder to have their players described in the media as world-class. It sure feels like maybe. Maybe, actually, yeah. Oh, really, Jessica? Hey, what are you thinking before the beta, though? I'm sure a lot of you have got your beta saves planned out. It feels like FM might be the only game that has that kind of gameplay loop in terms of people planning like beta saves for it. It's just a weird concept, I think, for most games. Unplug. It's not that. I think it's just that the Stream Deck thing has come disconnected from my Twitch in some way, and I have to reauthorize a load of stuff, and it's not really easy to do when I'm live. That's basically what's happened. I think there was an update to Stream Deck or something. It's happened in the past. I noticed all my Spotify commands didn't work as well. Yeah, it looks like Sligo have gone out, though. Ha! You stole my thoughts, Anarith. But it looks good for us for the most part. 8 million quid, nice. Oh yeah, by the way, I mentioned the money we had. I did ask the board for another new stadium. They still say no. Let's just try again. No, still not up for it. Got Torino, Zaragoza, Brest and Bochum. Brest and Bochum were stretched too far. Yeah, I wonder if you could still do it. Rip Slugs. Wait, what happened, Slugs? Right, Europa League. Shamrock through. Zenit through. Sligo did at least go out with a win, so it's good for coefficient. Shamrock getting through against Atalanta is actually surprising. They're a bit... Shamrock are an underrated good side. Right, come on. Oh, you beautiful bastards. Bose through on pens. Derry City through in normal time. That's amazing. We've got Bose and Derry in the quarterfinals of the Conference League. We've got Shamrock in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. We're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. This is good. This is very good. That will have earned us a nice little chunk of points too. 14.8 already. Okay, this is nearly our best year in ages. I mean, we now are leaving Germany in the dust. Look, Germany have only had a 7.5 year so far. Hey, Bill. You're Ipswich Park and Ride. Look, what is this season, by the way, for Germany? They had a lot of teams get knocked out, by the way. So they've only got a couple of guys in the Conference League, and I think that's about it. 14.8 already. Third on the year as well. Above Italy and Scotland, who have... I mean, look at that. Scotland got a 22-point season last year. I reckon a 20-point season is not out of the realms of possibility for us. I thought it might happen next year when we only have 5 teams in Europe, but this year, you never know. The question is who they get in the draw. Let me just have a look when the draw actually is 10th. I think that's the same day as ours, isn't it? 22 points. So basically, Scotland had teams in both the Europa League and Conference League final. They only won the Conference League, if I recall. But they had teams go very, very deep. And Dundee United did quite well as well. You do, Bill. You give me all the cool places. Removed from transfer list? What? I only just sold him to them. Okay. Oh, that scared me for a second. Yeah, Germany have firmly mudded themselves. It really does feel like the 7th place team really does have an opportunity to have insane seasons. Bear in mind, we're not actually the 7th place team until next year. Technically this year, we're still 5th place team. But we're doing really well with it. I'm excited for that last season. If this carries on like this, that last season actually could be a genuine humdinger. Because we're going to have 2 sides in the Conference League groups probably, provided they get through the preliminaries. But they're way better than that, so they should do easily. We could have a real chance at having a lot of teams in the lower competitions and actually have a really good chance at dropping... just getting so many group stage points, lots of group winner points, and then going deep into these tournaments. Exciting. Full save will be waiting for the lower leagues. Yeah, that's the thing. So that's why the Blue Star save, for example, isn't going to start straight away. That's the thing, Pooch. Yeah, because we'll only have the points divided by 5 next season. So otherwise, making these sign... Weirdly, it was quite a... There's lots of signings. But when you actually look at the numbers, other than Kurt Moody for 18 million to Dundalk, who's a keeper, which they could have done within the group stages, Shamrock sold a guy, Dundalk sold a guy. The only people who really did well, like in terms of spending money, was Shamrock Rovers. They bought Lucas Juliao from Rangers and also bought Lucas Barkley from Hibs. For the most part, though, there was not a lot of spending. There was a few free transfers in there, a few loans, but Shamrock were the only ones who really did anything for me. Full national finals in all 3 competitions. Yeah, that would be the dream. We got very close, if you recall, a couple of seasons ago to an All-Irish Champions League final. We were 1 tie away from it happening. And then Benfica had to come along and be big, beautiful... Well, not beautiful in this case. Bastards. It was a sad time. Also, we've got FM Christmas coming up soon. Oh, I've still not forgiven Benfica for that. They denied it. It was 9-2 was the final score. And I believe the XG was kind of like even across the tie or something. Yeah, I've been watching the Wrexham show. It's genuinely interesting. Really like it. It's really good. I like that kind of... I've always liked the football documentary shows that highlight slightly more unfancied teams than the ones about the big ones. It's just... like I've much preferred things like Sunderland Till I Die and the Wrexham one compared to the sort of all or nothing ones for the most part. I feel like the all or nothing ones are way too preened and curated. Who do you think your best value for money, Nugent, across all of your saves? Honestly, either Valev or possibly even Aaron Scholl. given that he was free. 5 red cards in the same minute. Is this one of these weird ones, though, where it's after the game, so it has a kind of different effect? Yeah, he was a free transfer. Leipzig let this guy go. He went Shamrock for a little while, and now, well, now look at him. He's just an absolute monster. So I'd say he's probably one of my best regen signings ever. I just couldn't believe that. I mean, look at his mentals. His lowest attribute that isn't like a one that's irrelevant is his crossing of 9. Just insane. And Valev, remember, was only like 40 grand as well, and he's won 3 Ballon d'Ors. So other Rutherford guy just to release him. I forget. Hang on, was that more recently in it? I can't actually remember. Like, I watched the episodes the other night because it was the hooligan one, and then there was the... Oh god, what was it? The second one. I can't remember what it was. It's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like 10 episodes, but I'm actually kind of glad they've put a bit more time in it. Win all the European trophies, not for me, but for Ireland. That's fine. 2 errors in the 70s, 3 errors in the 94th minute, penalty in the... Oh, right. So an absolute... But surely... Oh, was it for different sides, though? Episode 2. Oh, I see. Yeah, so... Obviously, we cancelled Disney Plus a couple of weeks ago. That's fine. So I've had to watch it through alternative means. Mainly cloud stream. Which is an absolute godsend. That is a lot of players. I like that Arnar Jonasson is actually getting international caps for Iceland. Now, that's sick. Is Jizzy getting any 20 squads by any chance? Presumably some under-21 squads, right? There he is. Jizzy in the under-21s. Things you love to see. Rob with the 4 months. I've done it again. Thank you so much for that, my man. That's very, very kind of you. Chat, can we get some sub-hype? Since I'm broken today. Was he a part of the Shamrock side that won the Conference League? No, Shamrock won that a while ago now, actually. We forget how long ago it was. Shamrock won the Conference League in 24... That was 10 years ago that Shamrock won that. Which shows you that Ireland have... Oh, hang on. They've had a draw. Why have we not had a draw? Oh, it's tomorrow. Okay, their draws have happened. So who did they get? Shamrock versus Monaco. Monaco were a bit shit when we played them. Like... Yeah. Oh, Podinova. That's the one that... Yeah, that was... He was pretty good business. Hey, Chris. So, yeah. Shamrock will play Monaco. I think they could take them. I really do. Shame we've lost Sligo. Right, come on. Hibs Derry. Okay. Bows FCK. You know what? Just dodging Roma here gives me hope. Just them dodging out of Roma here is intriguing. I think they're all winnable. We might need a little bit of luck for us. 1,800 games. God damn. This Dundalk match is the 1,800th match in this save. Wait. Oh, it's champion. I nearly skipped a Champions League draw. Thank God it doesn't let you do that. Right. So, presumably out of these we'd like a bit of Porto or Bayern, right? Maybe Juve. That's the dream. Let's do it. Yeah, it's cool to see Midtjylland so far. To be fair, they've done quite well on my other save. Okay, so no Man City. I don't really want Liverpool. That would kind of suck. Anyone but Man United. I'd take anyone but Man United. Bayern? I'm fine with Bayern. Like, Bayern have been knocked out in the last couple of seasons by Dundalk and Sligo. I think we can take them. He said, knowing full well that this is going to be quoted back to me in an hour and a half when we've lost. And I guess I'd like the... Oh, who are we going to get? I'd like the Liverpool Athletic winner. Actually, you know what? We beat Man United in the final last time. I don't mind that. This feels like a good route for us. And as you say, yeah, we can make Germany's season even worse, and that's always a good sign. I think from now on, all the legs are the same, aren't they? So, like, when we play our first leg, it's the same for the quarterfinals of the Europa Leagues and all. Johnny Maverick! Thank you for the 5 months. Chat, you know what to do. Get me that sub-hypes. Thank you much. Thank you much, my friend. That's very kind of you. Time do be flying. It's nearly FM23. I almost judge my years based on that rather than actual calendar years anymore now. Valev. New contract. I don't know why I'm even... I've got to stop just... Wait, hang on. That's the first time, I think, in this entire save that Trumovich has actually... You can see the game of 5 reds. I did check it. We already looked at it, didn't we? Is there something different? Hang on. Did I miss something? This is... Yeah, I already looked at it. It's definitely got 5 reds, but they're not for the same team, are they? See you later, Paolo. Tired, Happy New Year. Wired, Happy New Year. Well, yeah. We'll see about that, right? I still remain hopeful. Although the hope is fading slightly. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's probably not going to affect me that much. My plans are kind of set in stone anyway as to what I wanted to do, and I don't think any of this stuff is going to change that. But it would have been cool if there was a few things that made me go, oh, I'm really excited to play that, you know, rather than just out of my normal excitement to play, which I am, of course, because I want to make the stories and stuff and make the videos and make the streams. But I feel like we have to sort of make our own fun. So, Happy New FM for this release. I guess, yeah, true. Right. Oh, what? Cool. Well, there's the defeat. There you go. An injury to Bogdanov is not ideal too. An own goal was all we scored. Wow, we just weren't that good in that game, were we? Great. Bloody great. We've still got 34 goals this season, but not even the top scorer in the league. Hot damn. Torn hamstring. Oh, just delightful. Just delightful. Load FM, thank you very much for the raid. How was stream? Let me get you a shout out, my friend. He's scrambling over the keys. I nearly shouted out Loaf FM there. So, if it makes you feel any better. How was stream? Welcome in, my friend. What are your thoughts on the feature reveal? Oh, sick, Rob. Yeah, so unfortunately, my plan for the... Okay, I actually did see your DM before stream. The problem with that, simply, Rob, is that even my best case scenario of what my plans for the planner were, I probably still wouldn't have used, so... It's just not a feature I care about. Like, all the stuff I talked about with the planner was, like, best case scenario. Even then, I'd still struggle to find a way that I'd actually want to use it. I just don't do squad building like that. The only time I actually ever would show the planner or something like that would be in the end of YouTube videos a little bit. And I only do that because of the content side of things and not because of, like, me actually... I just don't see any use for it. I just don't see the point of it. Hello, Pog. Loaf FM would be a good baking stream. Agreed. Very good. It's toast of the town. Damn straight. Oh, I do love a bit of toast. I think I want to see them tweeted features, you know? That's the real stuff. That's what we got Dynamic Youth rating last year, if you recall. That was a tweeted video. Tweeted video? A tweeted feature. A tweeture, if you like. I know I beat you, Inferno. Look at me being all professional and streamy and that. There's usually quite a lot of those, and I'm just hoping I find something in there that I'm like, yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm hoping. I'm not sure what it could be. Just like a little tweeted feature saying something like, you can now extend all loans with the click of a button. I would retweet that 1,000 fucking times. And I would expect you all to join me in that. Honestly. That's the sort of stuff for me that you could never put in a headline feature video because, like, who cares? But it is a tweeter feature, maybe. Mr. Big Wow feature. I feel like they missed any features, but that's, again, my own sort of a cynicism, honestly. I just want the actual clubs to behave more realistically, rather than just inside the games, I suppose. They're all on an FMFC blog. Oh. Who is running that? Like, I don't understand why they think that's a good idea. Hey, let's wall off features so that there's less exposure. I know what this thing that we're trying to sell needs. Less exposure in the mainstream marketing. I don't understand that. I mean, I am a member of FMFC, obviously, but that just seems asinine to me. To, like, wall off features from people. Madness. Is that actually the case, though, Mills? I hadn't heard that. But then, yeah, where did you hear that? Or did they actually explicitly say that? Female singer looks like Pog. Really, Ploppistan? I'm going to need a screenshot now. Klopp is watching... Sorry, Klopp. Ploppistan is watching Elton John's video for Don't Go Breaking Your Heart, and apparently the female singer looks like my Pog.
Is that me?
Apparently. So I'm told. Miles tweeted it. Oh, really? Oh. Wow. I just I cannot understand that. I'm just not sure what the benefit of that is to anybody, honestly. You asked Miles if the beta is out yet. Ah, and have you been blocked? Is my big question. Ah, sick. I've not been doing feature roulette this year. Instead, the kinds of features that I reveal there will be detailed on the blog in a few weeks. Think more eyes get to see it then. I don't think that's how the internet works, Ryan. No offense to whoever this Ryan person is. That less people will emphatically get to see it because it will be walled behind things people will have had to sign up for. Like, that is insanity. I guess they want more sign-ups for FMFC, but like, crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I'm waiting for a screenshot of me.
I'd like to think he is, but I don't know. That's just kind of crazy. It's got more detail, so it's for the hardcore. But they could do both. Do the write-up, fair. Go into the detail, but you have... The point is, if by tweeting individual features like that, you give each individual one the ability to have enormous reach, is my point. Oh, hello, here we go. I'm not seeing it. The hair, maybe? Although your hair doesn't look like that so much anymore.
No, because I chopped it. Nah.
I must be honest. That face there that Elton be pulling.
But also, the face that she's pulling don't really help.
He's got them turtle lips going on. Hey, Viva. It's going well, actually. Both for us and for other Irish sides. Oh, here we go, chap. You know the drill. Predictions. What are we saying? Best wonder kids in football. Club. Country. Go. Is Bay here for photoshopping? Oh, your screenshot said, is there a more... I'm definitely not seeing it. I'm definitely not seeing it, mate.
Right, no. Not at all. Her eyes are too wide apart.
My Halloween costume.
No,
Pog still
I've
wants
got
Velma.
mine.
She still wants Velma.
I'm fully going Velma. Even if we don't have a Halloween, if we don't go to Halloween party, I'm guessing it.
Iceland Lech Poznan. I think he's too... Is he still 19? I reckon... Go on, Pog. Give me a club and country. We're predicting the best regen of the year.
I don't know.
Pick a random country. Germany and a club. Bayern. Do you know what, chat? Germany Bayern is not even a bad shout, is it? Right.
Is that... But was I right?
It hasn't happened yet.
No, but am I...
Oh, you should have had Mexico Club America. But
How the fuck would I have known that?
I'm sure someone in chat probably has that.
I don't
I
know.
would not be surprised if someone in chat actually has that.
I just picked
But-
the team that I knew.
8th place.
Yeah.
Russian Bayern. Let's see if we've actually got a Germany Bayern in here. There you go.
Yeah.
27th place. Germany Bayern.
Round of applause for me.
Aiden actually got it. Nice. I don't think we've had a winner on this since I got Mexico Monterrey. Oh no, was it Deportivo Guadalajara that I got? So who have we got? We've got this guy, which I believe is Freddy DeJesus, who I've definitely looked at before. There's Aslan here, one of my favourite Turkish names, just because of all the potentials for puns. How many do we have? Oh, also, your player that you signed is the highest ranking treaty player in the list. Pogpodanova. You'll have to see it.
Someone in chat said Pog.
Right behind, and Jizzy's right behind. Jizzy knows his place.
Well. Someone in chat was like, Pog. I was like,
Yeah.
Like, no, not you.
I know.
I was like, oh.
There's this guy, Ross Blair.
I don't remember.
Oh, is that really expensive guy?
I don't remember signing his name.
Then there's Scott McMinn, the man that refused to sign for us because reasons. Then there's obviously him. Oh, Shogo Miyata. Finally a Japanese player. Lovely stuff. The Austrian... I swear every year now, a player... The last 3 years in a row, someone has been described as the Demonin Peters. Does he drive a Mazda? Hey, he's got an MX-5. He's big in Japan. Then it's Noe. Oh, Campage. Jackson Camp. Oh, I like that. Oh. Okay, he's intriguing. An Angolan. Oh, he's online from Porto. But still. That's still kind of cool. Then Pog, then Jizzy, then Lockwell. Wow, 3 in a row. Hang on. He's also one of our guys. So's he. Literally, 14 through 18 are all Treaty United players. Then there's Sabani, who I think I've looked at before. Yeah. Then List, who we've looked at every year because his name's List. Take a punt now. Yeah, fuck it, why not? Can't hurt, can it? We've got 300 million in the bank, might as well. Where was the Japanese player from? He was from... Where was he? Page 3? Where's he gone? Oh, wow, he's number 9. He was from Kawasaki. Early. We're gonna stream until we get till we get knocked out, basically. So if we, it could literally be within the next hour if we lose to Bayern. There's also Yepes here. He looks kind of interesting. Vojvodovic, another of our guys. There's a guy from Ammonia. He's on loan from Benfica. God damn it! I get so excited. There's the. He's still there. Surprising. Yeah, he's been in the last few of them actually. There's also this guy. He's definitely new. Ali Mohammed Shokri. Usnez. We've got... He's definitely been in the last couple of them. Emin Karudaman. Another Lichtsteiner. Who's a Turkish Liechtensteiner that's come through at Young Boys. That is a sick combination. Pronounce that guy's name. Which guy's name? Chawanwat Sampaoli is how I'd say it. Probably wrong though. I like that. That's a good combination of nationalities. Got Morrissey. Oh, he's on from Arsenal. God damn it. There's also loan from Liverpool. God damn it. Oh, a Frenchman on loan from... Are they all on loan? He is definitely... Oh, he's definitely not. Stanislav... Wow, he's already got caps for Slovakia. And... Chat, I present to you Wanky. Well, we're definitely scouting Wanky. You can't resist a Wanky, right? Had to be did. He's friends with Wanky Bedtime. Exactly. It's pronounced like Chi. Don't ruin my dreams. Don't you bring your logic into this? Stop coming in here with your facts and logic. Let me dream, damn it. I'm living my truth, all right, Pulse? Wanky neck. Oh, another Thai guy. Sarawut Suwankadi. This has been a particularly wanky next-gen list, doesn't it? He's got 19 caps and has full-on wank in his name. It's delightful times. He's on loan from Torino. It's wanky lunchtime. Yeah. I'm expecting, like, the last player to just be called Wank. Okay. Right, he's been scouted. There's also this guy with a cool... Gianluca Apap. Maltese! Oh, things you'll love to see. Kawasaki Frontal. Not Kawasaki. There we go. Not sure... Wait, what? Huh? Why can't I go on their profile page? What? That's weird. Why am I not allowed to go on their profile page? I've been blocked. Don't have profile pages. Don't they? Is that because of the licensing thing? 10k a week to be 10k a week to be a youngster. That's still mental. That's something that needs to be fixed for FN22. 23. That, to be honest, that's something that needs to be fixed for FN22 as well. That a 17-year-old could join a Champions League winning team and expect a youngster wage and want 8k. We're still going to give it to him. I'd never noticed that before. If FN23 is more about stories, do you think they'll stop considering Super Cup Community Shields on the level? Oh, absolutely not. And I bet you they won't fix anything to do with the player dynamics and player promises and players' playing time expectations or squad roles or any of the things that are utterly broken and need to be fixed and reworked. I think all they're going to do is add more stuff on top of that that's going to make it even harder to navigate. Probably peanuts. That's a very good point. The last thing we need is for them to add dynamic inflation into this as well. So turn at Newcastle. Yeah, but as a youngster, on a youngster contract, like, not every player. people use an example of like the anomaly to imply that that should be the norm, is my point. And I feel like FM does that way too much. So they'll be like, hey, who's this one really high rated player that's on loads of money? Ergo, everyone needs to be on that kind of money, and thus breaking the economy. Point is, I reckon he'd sign for like PSG for like £700 a week, probably. Sri Lanka national team? Okay, let's do it. I almost typed in Sir Lankan then. Sir Lankan? Yeah, the dynamic inflations that will exist, it just won't exist on your players, so they'll still be worth nothing. Let's see, anyone fun? Wow, that's tiny. I think they're all... They're not. There is a guy that actually doesn't play... There's two guys. Two Norwegians and a guy from Wellington Phoenix called Mahinda Anam. But I'm more interested in this guy from Fløya. Mainly because there's a band I really like called Fløya. That's the only reason I was drawn to it. Yeah, they don't have a lot of players, do they? But they do luckily have Mohamed Galagadara, which is a cool name. And then there's also this chap up here, Nishan Anurata Joseph, as well. Did I say Wellington? Yeah, it's Wellington Phoenix, right? Yeah, this guy here, Mahinda Anam. Navy Seahawks. Navy Seahawks is a cool club name. I'll give him that. Right, Derry City. This is rotation. So Shalak, Vetic. There you go. Much better from us. Now we actually have centre-backs that can come into these matches. That's the dream. Even Sierra can play as an RPM, which is really nice. I hadn't even noticed that he could do that, but it just means that our rotated squads now are going to be way better. Watch us now lose this game, of course. Expectations run amok. 42, nice. Yeah, that's another thing. I feel like the way that if you ever wanted an example of just how broken transfer AI is, try giving a non-league club £1 billion and see what they do with it. Like, the way that it is spent shows that there's just no logic to the way that clubs behave. When's the fix off? Well, fair one. Enjoy that guy in the future. Long time in the future, but it's there already. Well, Gladwell scored. Fair play. So, wow, Shamrock have started really... Oh, no, they haven't. Well, they kind of have, but they've also got lots of other stuff to be busy with, haven't they? Spoiling every Tom video. Oh, dear. 69 million. Nice. Actually, he's 30 odd as well. God damn it, man. I want to see if that other guy actually signs for us. It's kind of intriguing. Cork did in fact survive. Yeah, they beat Longford in the playoffs. They were actually, they were down, but then they were not down. Incredibly. They managed to pull themselves out of the mud at the very last minute. For North London Derby. Where's it being played? Is it the Emirates or the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? Yeah, you won't see that video out of me, bearded child, trust me. It's just not a video I could bring myself to make, I suppose. What you will see from me, though, for FM23, is I am going to do the reverse coefficient video, because I think that's going to be really interesting. So they got knocked down, but they got back up again. It's true. You're never going to keep them down. Emirates. It's going to be a fascinating matchup, just because of how Spurs like to play. I think it's going to be one of those... It's going to be an interesting game. Just because of the way that Spurs play, it's... Both sides kind of... I think there'll be a decent amount of goals. I've almost wanted to do, at some point, the anti-FM experiment video. Where it's sort of like a parody video of FM experiment videos. But I almost feel like if I did that, people would get upset with me. So... yeah, I think it has the opportunity for being like a 3-2 or something, potentially. There was a 4-all in the London... Remember the 5-4 back at White Hart Lane back in the day? What a game that was. I gave PSG £1 billion. I put up Erling Haaland at Manchester United. Here's what happened. The David... Yeah! Handler parody. I know. It's just... I don't know if I'm the right man for a parody. Let's be honest, there's plenty of things about me you could parody. Most of me, in fact. Yep. Oh, it would end 3-0. I'm more interested in the Fulham game. Need to do a video for April 1st. There's so many video ideas I've had in the past about April 1st. It's just, it always come at an annoying time. He said as if April 1st is a different day every year. Well, what they do, Kloppistan, is they sign really shit players that they can get their hands on, but on absolutely ludicrous money. So, like, if you gave like a 7th tier side £1 billion, they'd sign. Players would not suddenly be drawn to the club because they have money. The game doesn't care how much money a team has, and that's kind of silly because that is a genuine factor for me that should make any difference. If your team is considered rich and has loads of cash, players that were perhaps not wanting to join you before should want to join you now. And I don't feel like it does enough of that. But also what they do is they'll sign like a guy from like conference, the National League, on like 50 grand a week or something dumb. Because he just doesn't, yeah. I put Fulham in the Championship and Norwich in the Premier League. You wouldn't guess what happens. There should be a rep boost that comes with it. Yeah, exactly. Because by very, very definition, a tycoon would create a reputation for that team, no? Exactly stuff like that. Let's look at Paul Mullen. Precisely that. Yeah, was league scorer in League 2 and then drops down a division. Like they said in the series, he probably should have been joining a high-end League 1 low-end Championship side based on that sort of season, not dropping down a division. But money talks, right? As much as in the series he's like, oh, I don't care about money. It's like, Paul, come on. Then again, I think he probably could have got similar wages probably in League 1 or the Championship, let's be honest. Willian and Neto? Yeah, exactly. I promoted a National League South team to National League North. What a promotion. You've now got access to gravy sauce. Let's see. Right. At least with these having fewer teams left now, we don't have to worry about them getting scraped off the page. So Shamrock Monaco, Bows away at FC Copenhagen, Derry City away at Hibs, and commence. I don't really put sauce on my chips at all. Just vinegar, salt, sometimes a little bit of pepper if I'm feeling extra fancy. Yeah, I can certainly see that. And if he's going to get similar wages, then at that point, what difference does it make, right? Also, potentially, if he thought, you know, I could be a part of something quite cool here, get them back into the League 2 and then build with them for a little bit while I get to be nearer to my family, from his point of view, no-brainer, right? Obviously, it's not quite gone that way. I suspect, yeah, and that makes sense. When you're in the sort of, even the slight lower reaches of football, you have to think about stuff like that, right? That was a great stop. We have started a bit... Wow, look at that. Leicester City have just gone, no, not today, Dynamo. Ah, damn it. I think the reason they don't detect it, I think that could also cause a lot of problems with lower league saves. Because I think FM just doesn't particularly do a very good job in general with a lot of lower league saves. But that's because, remember, the game is really only supposed to be played down to the levels they have added in. So when you go any lower than that, that's on. That's on. It sort of does get a bit weird. Yeah, I think, honestly, journalists in FM, I couldn't care less what questions they ask because I just skipped them anyway. I just don't see it adding anything to it, really. Goal awarded. Right, we're actually losing to Bayern. If we could do less of that, that would be spectacular. Yeah, exactly. The money that Adam Rooney was on when he was at Salford, wasn't he on, like, League 1 wages? Yeah, the game literally can't generate players bad enough because it's unbalanced. The CA and PA stuff, yes, would have to be changed dramatically. So players' attributes would have to be way more granular to allow that. Keeper was a bit messy for that one, wasn't he? Bo's winning. Bo's are 1-0 up away at FC Copenhagen. Shamrock need to pull their figure out. To be honest, if Shamrock only lost 1-0 against Monaco away from home, I would still fancy them do something in the second leg, potentially, given what they've already showed us. As now we lead again. It's 2-1 to Treaty United. Stefan Val, remember, if we get through this, it'll be a 7th consecutive season of semi-finals or better in the Champions League. Which is a pretty insane run. An equaliser there and a goal for Hibs. A bad time for Irish sides all of a sudden. We are at least winning, though. This is where all the other Irish sides go out in the same round here. And I am then sad for a little bit. Oh, great. Now it's been turned around entirely. Football regular... The thing is, though, I don't know how that would work in real life, let alone an FM. Honestly. How independent is independent really, though? With any of these things. That's the problem. We've really not been that good. Bows are now in front. We've been kind of gash in this game, honestly. We are very lucky, which is a rarity for us. Really bad players for the Welsh second tier, much worse than the national. But if you actually look at their CA, it's not actually that much of a drop-off. The game finds it very difficult to model that much below National League North and South. If you actually look at the attributes of those players, there is a huge skill gap between those guys and there. And in FM, it's not actually that. That's why it's so easy to go up the lower leagues. If you start in like the 11th tier or something, you could get so, with a couple of signings and the right tactic, you can go all the way back to back to back to back to back, all the way up to like at least the National League, honestly, because of that reason. Which is probably something that's going to happen, I suspect, during Blue Star. But hopefully people won't care so much about that because the whole focus with Blue Star will be the story elements of it as well. But that's just the limitations of the system. In order for that to change, you'd have to have it so that it was now a CA of like 500 or 1,000. Then you'd allow more gaps for that real bottom end. But the FM don't need to add that because, after all, the game technically isn't even designed for those real lower league saves. That's just stuff people have added in post-haste. Not post-haste. Afterwards. Post. So I understand the way it is, you know. That's the reason it is so easy in the real lower leagues. Particularly as it's just kind of a case of, you know, loans, frees, all that jazz. It's 4-1. Yeah, the whole PACA attribute system would have to be completely rewritten. Now, technically, attributes do work on a decimal level, as that used to be shown in certain screens. I believe on the progression screen, you used to be able to see the decimal point increases of certain attributes. We're 4-1 up at buy-in with that scoreline. This is genuinely, and I don't say it very often, we're lucky. Very, very lucky. But we'll take it. Rutherford's with a red card there for Shamrock Rovers. They had a red card in the last game too. They need to sort their shit out. If they only lose 1-0 there, then that's good. Well, we don't have a lot of options at the bench, do we? Maybe Sierra on for Ramos. Maybe even Bibby for a little bit, actually. Yep. Trials, poaching, loans. Yeah. Pass better than 16, but I don't. That's a good point, Paul. I don't know. Or is it just used for progression? Yeah, Maffler. God, man. Get rounded up. That might make sense, actually. Because do you remember on the old progression charts, you could actually see the decimal point on it? Rules for spoilers when the game is being played. How do you mean, Klopp? Which game? Which spoilers? If you mean like the North London Derby, then no, have at it. If anything, I'm going to require them. 2-0. Shit. That worries me. Derry City were able to knock out Atalanta, and yet here they are. Okay, not the best day. Oh, Christensen's gone. He is at Inter. He was on international duty last summer and then complained that I hadn't played him enough during that period because he was, you know, at the World Cup. And thus said he wouldn't sign a new contract and was going to explore his options. So I sold him for 75 million. Just another case of FM working perfectly without any real issues. So we're looking pretty good at the moment. Man United only just getting past Porto in the home game there. Yeah, we got very lucky, hard news. Like, very, very, very lucky. But we'll take that. Mr. Streams can catch up for goals. Any football stream can run that risk. Hang on. What are we talking about? Right, Europa League. 2-0. Oh, shitting hell. They scored in the 90 fucking... Shamrock Rovers and conceding goals in the 90th minute plus. Oh, technically it was 89th. It's kind of hot. I still feel like they could... I still feel like they could go. I don't know what we make for a win. We've got 6 teams, so it's whatever it is divided by 6. I think it's 0.33 something, maybe? Yeah, it is. It's like 0.3333 recurring. Sorry, 3.33. It's when we go... Next year, we'll have 0.4 for a win. And Conference League, we got Hibs losing winning 2-0. Bows winning 3-2 away at FC Copenhagen is actually a muggery, honestly. What about this one? How close are we talking? Watch this one be way more. Honestly, I mean, that's pretty much bang on. If anything, it could have been more like 3-1. I still feel like Derry and... They've got a chance. Bows, on the other hand, are just doing a weird one here. So that was a win for us and a win for Bows. So that should be another point. So we should be like 15.5. Best season we've had since the 17.9 season now is this year. We're definitely going back above Germany. They are muddied to hell. Not catching the others just yet. But I reckon next year there could be an insane season in for us. I don't think we're done with this yet. Delay to work permit. We should get the work permit. It should be fine. Last spoilers for live games. Yeah. I don't really see them spoilers. It's a live game, right? People probably have score reminders set up for their phones. I emphatically want people to talk about football in the chat. I think that's cool, you know? It's conversational. I like when people do score updates and shit like that. All right. The moment we sign him, we should get a massive dump of information on him too. I think he's way better than that would suggest. Look at these attributes at 17. Finishing's trash, but like his mentals for a 17-year-old and some of these good technicals as well. Resolute personality. Yeah. Why does it work like that when you get more info after signing? I don't know, but I suspect it's something to do with FM basically going... Because look, all of a sudden, now he's 80% scouted. Even though I never scouted him. Well, I think I probably did, but we haven't had a report back yet. It is kind of odd. It's kind of like... I guess it's because he would have come for a medical or something, so they would have had a better diet. I don't know. But I have noticed that the moment you sign a player like that, you get an enormous dump of scouting knowledge on them. It's why punts can be quite useful. Under 21 netball Euros. Crack on! Tell me all about it. Tell me about these net balls.
You see these?
Silent Sniper. Thank you very much for the follow. Would he put him out the pitch to look as a sign of the deal? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But FM definitely does do that. I have noticed that you get a massive dump of it. He looks like a solid player. Besides, like, to be good for us... Oh, hang on, shit. I need to rotate this. Even though we are looking pretty strong. I love being able to bring in the likes of Shala and Lokwa in games like this. And giving Sierra a chance to play there, and Yahi, and Fidel Madrid as well, actually. Give him a run. So, it's not amazing, Johnny, unfortunately. Derry lost 2-0 to Hibs, which is frustrating, but they kind of deserve to. Shamrock lost 2-0 to... Who did they lose 2-0 to? Oh, did they lose 2-0 to Hibs? No, Monaco. But they had a red card. And Bose won 3-2 away at FC Copenhagen. So I think they're still in it, provided they get the big home advantage bump that we sometimes see. But 2-0 down from an away leg is a very, very big ask to come back from. But, you know, Irish sides have done mad shit in the past. I think we still have a strong chance at least having Bose into a semi-final. Although I have just hit them for 6, so... See, this is what I mean. I think with MTK next year, if we put that rule in, basically, where the players can play against their parent club, this sort of stuff won't happen as much. Because I wonder if we're just going to dent their confidence massively. I still think they've got a chance of getting through. But yeah, we're hard coding it in next year with the pre-game that will make it so that our loanees can play against us. Because I don't trust FM to allow me to put that stuff in the contracts properly. Clates! Coming in with the big raid! Thank you very much, my friend. How are things over at Herta? And more importantly, what do you think of the FM features? I'm sure you've already talked about it all on stream, I imagine. But I'm curious. What? Actually, not just you, but what do your chat think? What thoughts, friends? PT Sting! Thank you very much for the follow. Soon. It's very kind of you. Welcome in, everybody.
Now.
Oh. I can't believe we actually won that first leg. We probably could have drawn that game, and we won 4-1. I'm going to remember that. As that's not ideal. But look at me, Inferno, coming in here knowing what buttons to press. I'm stepping it up a little bit. It works slower at my job. Yeah, in it. that right there is a mood, and I am in that mood. Dundalk lead Ireland national team production. Have all the guys that we had in there before just retired? Supporters' confidence is an amazing move. Interesting. I'd love to know why you think that. Genuinely. I'm very curious to know why that is. That's not like I'm being sarcastic. I would love to know why you think that, because I massively disagree. So I want to know. I'm curious. I want to hear the other side of that. Have a 1v1 talk about the features. If I didn't have to get through all of this today on stream, I would absolutely do that. Plus, I'm sure Clates is a very busy man. TLDR, the FM features. There's actually... I would say, honestly, rather than watch the 42-minute video, I'd say read the blog. You get more info in there anyway. Hello, Pogs. Have a bath. Okay, enjoy. Could you open your nose? I'm not sure that's what baths do. Just gonna submerge your head in there. Go. Oh yeah, because I've never been taken out of context before. That'd be silly. Not sure nothing on Derby. I don't blame him, Lynx, honestly.
You just do
Right. Bull squad back in. Enjoy your bath, Pogs. And enjoy. Anyone else who might be choosing to have a bath right now, enjoy that bath too. Just not just Pog. Everyone gets to enjoy a bath. Right. Ender. Boom. Boom. Sick. I should stress, I'm not like against the supporter confidence thing. I think a lot of the elements in there I actually think are kind of cool, nice little additions. But I also feel like it's basically laying a load of rakes for you to step on, and with no real positive outcome for it is what I actually think I'm worried about the most of it. Because I worry with anything that's brought into the game that's a little bit dynamic like that, I feel like it's just going to be new ways for you to get randomly sacked without doing anything wrong. And that concerns me, without adding anything positive at the same time. That's my biggest concern about it. Now, my other biggest concern is that it won't scale properly. So if you start a really small club, the supporter confidence stuff and the makeup of your supporters won't change as the club grows. Oh, I've frozen. Stiff. Couldn't get out there, chat. Perfect time for a bit of a freeze there. As I'm giving horrendous cold takes. Mr. Freeze is back. Balls seem to be happy with it. It is interesting, but that's great in real life, but I'm more trying to think about how this will impact people actually wanting to play a game, I guess. That's what I always worry about when they bring in stuff that's like, how will this impact the fun of actually playing a fun game, you know? Whether you're managing a Latin or South American team where the manager can be sacked after intense pressure from the fans, almost on a whim for not playing the way that... Precisely. So my point is, if I'm choosing a save and I get a long-term save and all of a sudden my fans just go, nah, we don't like the way you're playing anymore, even though you've had this whole thing, you're doing cool stuff. Oh, you're just sacked for no reason. It's like, cool. Great. But that once again comes back to my desire to play FM as a fun experience rather than mimicking everything as a pure realism down to the point where it removes any element of actual enjoyment. I think there's a fine line to straddle with that. I just worry about its implementation more than anything else. But that's exactly it, DP. Because if, say, for example, our next save on Twitch, proper one, will be MTK Budapest in Hungary, right? Small side, probably got quite passionate fans, I would imagine, given that's football in that part of the world. If I'm then going to be a European challenger, will that makeup of fans actually change? Or will the fact that the club has that makeup of fans actually potentially cause problems for me later down the line when I am a big side? And if that's the case, I worry. Honestly, I worry anytime SI describe anything as dynamic. So this is more just we've been burned before. Pop, thank you very much for the follow. 20k hardcore fans. Yeah. I'd be kind of sick, honestly. As long as it doesn't cause any like problems, then I'll be well up for that. I think there's a lot of things that could be done with it still. Shamrock losing again. And... okay, we've only had 9 minutes, but Shamrock are looking dead, I would say. They have to score 3 times now to have any hope of going through. I think I've got more faith in Derry City as they take the lead against Hibs. Excellent news. Get sacked for low block tactics is the only way. Yeah, maybe. Sunset fire of the opposition bus again. Your fans have broken into the training ground. Your players are now leaving on free transfers. You encouraged the hooligans by accident. That feels like something I'd do. We are genuinely destroying Bayern in this tie. Like, unbelievably, fortunately. We should not be 6-1 up in this tie. This reminds me of that Manchester City game we had a few years ago. It is a bit bullying at this point. I was happy when we got Bayern, and this is why. Come on, Derry, we need more from you. Bo's leading. Yes. Does open stadium atmosphere if it's dynamic? Hostile atmosphere. It could be interesting, but I just feel like that's the sort of stuff that I want from that mode, and I don't think we're going to see it. Inside a civil war? Matt starts an uprising. I accidentally substitute our new centre-back, Franz Ferdinand. He's after he was absolutely done in by the challenge of a Serbian striker called Gunvrilo. What's his name? Gunvrilo Princip. That's some World War I jokes for your chat here. Properly topical. The football war. Yes, that was the one in South America, wasn't it? Was it Panama, Honduras? It was somewhere like that. I forget. El Salvador. Is that Araujo who I think it is? I don't know. I thought he was at Inter. Araujo. I don't see an Araujo. Maybe it's a nickname. Oh, for Milan. Yeah, that's him for Milan. Milan's current strike force is Paolo Vinicius and Norberto Araujo. And Inter's strike force currently has Petter Christensen in it. Yeah, that'd be so cool if it actually translated into the stuff you see in game. So, like, you know, more hardcore fans means like pyro and shit like that. And that'd be kind of cool. But then it also runs into the problems of things like your 37-year-old club legend who is no longer able to play for you anymore because he's crap, because that's just how the game is and how your players will inevitably decline. You're getting sacked because you didn't play him enough when he's like half a star or something. Mato-Hungarian Empire. So much we can do. I've built Italy up. I just realised that part of the reason Italy probably did so well the last few seasons is because all the strikers I've sold to Man United that have then been shipped to Italy afterwards. Yeah, imagine that. Like, you've got like quite a... What on earth? Shamrock Rovers with the comeback. Imagine if Tifos were brought into FM. That would be... Honestly, Tifos in the crowd would be a really cool thing to see. Derry winning, but they need another goal. Shamrock Rovers, imagine if they pulled this out the fire from here. Fans rep meeting. Oh god, yeah. You have to go like you have to go to the supporters trust meeting to get yelled at. Because the burger van out the back is not wheelchair accessible. Because there's 7 of them, and that's the only thing that exists outside the stadium. Because that's the manager's problem. Not like the chief executive or... Oh, we've got another goal. It's Aaron Scholl. Finds the club of pyro. Shit, honestly, PT Sting, that's the sort of stuff I would love to see. Anything for me that aids story and allows you to inquire about off-field events, I would love that. But I just don't think that's some stuff you're going to see. Is your tactic defensively solid? Probably not, honestly. I mean, to be fair, we have won back-to-back Champions League, so I can't hardly say it. It's better now that we've got the DM, I think. And yes, I do have Discord. ! Discord. I would press the button for it, but unfortunately, my Stream Deck buttons are broken today. Must be Saturday. Stadium closed due to fan troubles. As much as they wouldn't want to put stuff like that in there because of reasons, and you know, it's the same reason that commentators say things like, no one wants to see that. Red card for Hibs, that could be a game changer. I emphatically don't want to see that, but in the game, realism and all, you know? I want crowd trouble, damn it. 2-0 to Derry City, they're actually doing it. All we need now is Shamrock Rovers to continue the miracle performance that they're putting in so far. 2-0 to Bows, they're smashing it. Yeah, maybe not that far DP, but like, you know, at least stuff that provides atmosphere and cool stuff, you know? I'm always interested in things like that. Oh, he's actually the same level as Sierra. I reckon Shamrock Rovers win that game 3-2 and go out because of that late goal they conceded. And I reckon Hibs are going to get a late one in that game. Predictions. I think that's the way that's going to go. But if... Oh, maybe they could win on pens or something? But it looks like Bows are going through no matter what. Oh, lovely Niakshu. Did I see that Liverpool are going to be sponsored by Coca-Cola? Or was that just something I saw on TikTok and then assumed it was real for no reason? Because if that is going to be the case, it almost feels fake for some reason. It feels like fantasy kits that you would make yourself for a save for some reason. Just a partnership. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Because for some reason I heard that they were going to be the shirt sponsor or something. Flares are in the game. Not just in Eastern Europe. You actually see it in Scandinavia sometimes too. I believe when I was at Sudhyaska, I used to see it a lot in the Danish League games too. I think there's a huge potential for things like machine learning and stuff to aid the game. I really do. I'd like to hope that they're doing stuff with that, potentially. Yeah, because I saw some mock-ups with Coca-Cola and the Liverpool kit, and I was like, okay, cool. It almost felt like, do you know what I mean? It feels like one of those kits that you'd mock up for your save because you're trying to think of a big brand. Away teams, yeah. Is there been a goal scored in the North London derby? I've just seen what a goal in chat, and we haven't scored, which implies there has been. Arsenal 1-0, fair play. Who scored? I'm guessing Martinelli. Party? Well, well, well. So Man United through 1-0. We're through to the semis again. Man City... Okay, at least it's not an all-English setup there. Question is now, chat. What do we have? Do we have anybody in the next round other than Bose? Predictions. Did Shamrock... Well, obviously Shamrock Rovers didn't get through. The question is, did Derry City manage to do it? I reckon Derry City lose on pens. That's my predictions. I reckon Derry City lose on pens despite having an extra man. Shamrock Rovers drew, so they're out. Oh, fuck off. An own goal in the 121st minute sends Derry out of Europe. Oh, and Bose also managed to not win the game, which means less coefficient points. Let's see how much of a mugging this was, shall we? To be fair, 2-1's pretty much spot on there. I feel like they should have done better with the red card, though. Once Derry had that once the red card came through for Hibs, Derry should have won that. What about how are we doing here? Did Bose deserve this? Well, Bose have done very well to get through that tie, honestly. Mugged them off in the first... He scored Bacon. Things you love to see. What was the actual stats like for this game? Did Shamrock at least deserve the draw? Probably could have edged it, honestly. But a lot of that would have been the pen. Okay, so we lost 2 of them. We still have Bose, though. Hang on, Leicester drew the second leg 0-0 after... Okay. So we won, Bose drew, Derry won, Shamrock drew. That's still a load of extra points. We should be well above 16 by now, right? 16.8 on the year. 17.9 is our best ever season. We're now number 2. Still not catching Scotland at the moment, but gapping the other teams massively. Cool. 9 million quid. Due to get Man United. Okay. We continue. That makes it 7 consecutive semi-finals or better. We press on. The question is, though... Oh, no. Hang on. We'll already know who... The draw will already been made, wouldn't it, for the next round of the Conference League? Because... Oh, Bose Roma. Midtjylland Hibs. The worst thing about this is, as well, is if Derry had got through, there would have been a chance for an all-Irish final because they were on separate sides of the draw. And I reckon Derry, if Derry get past Hibs, they beat Midtjylland. That's the worst thing about that. I think there's no way Bose beat Roma. But imagine if they did. Just having an Irish side to get to a semi-final again is really nice. The last time that happened, of course, was the Sligo one in the Champions League, but that is good news. A Scottish-Irish final would at least be something. Sign loads of my main rival players. See how many... Yeah, that's the sort of stuff I'm going to have to test. I'm also prepping in my head if I do find some way of, like... there's a few things. The moment that beta drops, I want to jump straight into an international management save as well, just to see if there's anything that has changed. Change your shirt to root for Bose. That is a good point, actually. It would be a bit... It'd behoove me not to be sat here wearing a Roma shirt. I will change my shirt. Remind me before the match. I will change my shirt. That seems only fair. When is that game? 11 days. Okay, cool. Switch those two around. How many goals has Paredes got this season so far? 5. I suppose we are very early in, aren't we? Can't really expect too much out of him. Quick Guam stream, is it? How do you mean? I should know there's going to be any time for that, honestly. Because once I'm away, I come back. We have 2 streams that week, which will be the looking forward streams. I'll probably need that weekend off to... Wow, okay then. Hello, Big Dollop. That's a good result. Obviously, we scored 9 goals. Played the tie yet? Which tie? First FM 23 stream. Oh, the first FM 23 stream obviously will be Dundee United as we get going there. Speaking of Dundee United, how's the league going in? Well, there you go. Another reason why we're doing Dundee United is they've won their league title back in. Celtic this year did at least get 6th spot. The first leg of which we've beaten Bayern, if that's what you mean. As in we knocked them out completely. Falkirk in the top flight there. So Dundee United, followed by Dundee, then Hibs, then Rangers, then Hearts, then Celtic. For the final against Hibs. That's a good point, yeah. I'll just switch in and out. Who's going to be the manager of Dundee United? I don't know, honestly. I might just pick a random player. It could be Randy Hobbs, because he was the guy we sold to Dundee United. So he would probably be a good manager, honestly. Paredes, yep. I'll quickly show you him. He's become such an important player so fast. I don't think I've seen a player that stepped into the fold and become so goddamn important. I guess we've moved to the treaty squad there. He's considered 5-star, 5-star. Already. Makes it look like he has... When we signed him, which wasn't even that long ago, it was like a year and a half ago, I think. He's only been at the club for... Yeah. Which means he hasn't improved much, but in terms of his, like, progress chart, which that doesn't make any sense. He definitely wasn't that then. He was like 3 stars in this team. But he is very good. That's the main thing. Yeah, I think Randy should be the guy. Ballon d'Or soon. Maybe. We have won a lot of Ballon d'Or soon. What's he training? At the moment, I think he's just doing advanced forward and then final third, which is getting that composure and decisions up. Although I think they're actually... Have they progressed? Yeah, they're up 2 each. I might leave it on that for a little bit longer just because of composure being so important compared to finishing. Form influences it a lot. It really does. But weirdly, it doesn't seem to influence Christensen as much. Although he kind of did have a similar breakout. Wanky bedtime has broken his spine, chat. What a sentence to be able to say as a human being. God, look at us. Press it. Look at me. Look at all this space bar action you're seeing here. I'm absolutely breezing through. Turns out I could have done this all along. I'll be honest with you. I couldn't have done this all along. I wouldn't have been able to do the whole 2 streams a season before because it requires a lot of off-stream stuff that I simply only have time for at the moment because other stuff's on the back burner. Scholl's not starting here. We'll get Ramos. No, not Ramos. We'll give Roberto a little run out. Space Viva. I know. Look at me. What was he up to when he broke it? You know. You don't need me to tell you. You know. His second injury. It might be. He's a very injury-prone bedtime merchant. Yeah, we haven't had Wan Chi come back through the reports yet either. Pog's now run out of hot water, so that's fun. Cold Pog. Freezing Pog. Was that a big result? 5-1. Another hat-trick for Paredes. Lovely stuff. How many goals has he got this season already now? It was 5, but it's probably gone up to like 12. Yeah, he's getting there now. Bilby's got 13. In very few matches as well, which is quite interesting. Match rearranged. Bit of that. I do wish that you could just automatically set training schedules based on certain criteria. Wouldn't that be amazing? Hey, here's a little fun feature request. If I have 2 matches in a week, could I not designate a certain training session that's automatically applied for that? And same with 1 match, same with no matches. Wouldn't that be sick? Just little stuff like that. Imagine how amazing things like that would be. Got to write that one down as well. Oh, just think of the QOL potential, chatto. 109 games beaten in the... It's one thing we do well, it is winning the EA Sports Cup. We may not be able to get these unbeaten seasons, but we have got 109... We've not lost a game in the League Cup in 24 years. People have been born, grown up, started playing football, and are now midway through their career since the last time we lost a game in the Irish Cup. Actually, the Irish League Cup, which is even worse. I think the Cup's in a similar state of disrepair as well. I guess it's just less games for us to bugger up. That, and I think the Cup games always seem to fall where we can play a full-strength side, and it kind of helps. Jizzy wasn't born yet. This is true. Neither was Arneson. Our current striker wasn't born the last time we... Hang on, Aaron Scholl. Our central midfielder, who is 23 years old, wasn't born the last time we lost a game in the Irish League Cup. Penalty Spurs. Ooh. Was it a pen, or was it a not pen that's been given as a pen? That's rotation. Full rotation, so we should see Schala, Kvetic, Lokva. These two here as well. Sierra's in with Madrid. I like these, but Madrid. I feel a bit sorry for Vidal Madrid. He just has never quite got enough football, no matter how stretched we are. An ancient tradition at this point. It's like your father tells you about when you're a kid. Do you remember the League Cup, Lassie? Because your father calls you Lassie in this scenario, because apparently he just really loves the TV show Psych. We are flying at the moment, friends. Gabriel and Richarlison. I bet Richarlison made a fucking meal of it, though, right? Oh, a 5-4. They've got a guy called Kieran Schwank. Love that. Meza scored in the 91st and 93rd minute to win it for us. Get in there. Big result. Keeps us 2 points clear at the top. Boop. I also love Psych is very good. You know, I don't know if you're into podcasts, but Maggie Lawson and Timothy Ormondson have a Psych Rewatch podcast, and it's actually quite entertaining. I've just added that to my rotation. I have my podcast set up perfectly at the moment, where it's just enough that I don't end up with an enormous backlog. Yeah, Maze is back with us. Unfortunately, he was another of the guys that refused to go back out on loan. It's frustrating. But I think it's just because we're so far into the save now. It's a lot of those players have got so old now that they expect certain things. And when Shamrock weren't in the knockouts of the Champions League, he's like, well, big club is. I feel an 11 of wanks. The wanky 11. Dundalk just sold Dennis Kelly to Al Sadd. Which, to be fair, the real winners out of this are Bolton. In fairness. 1-1. Fair one. Should be called. Where's the... I want that Don't Inform Me Again button to come back. I know it exists. But I want to see it more regularly. I want to be able to block my scouting staff... my assistant from sending me that email. Or block the other managers who write shirt change. Yes, good point. Let me just set the team up. Since most of these guys can't play. Swap those two over inevitably. Valev comes back in. Roll, Sal, Blukacic, blah, 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 blah. Right, good. Right, shirt change. I've got to find a shirt first. Okay, found a shirt, chat. Worry not. No longer repping the opposition. Unless... The only problem we've got now is if Bows do get through and they end up drawing the Colorado Avalanche in the next round, then we've got all sorts of problems beyond just the shirts at that point, right? Now it is a hot... So yeah, I mean, I reckon we doubled in viewers during the 10 seconds I was off screen there, because they know that nudity, or vague implied nudity, was happening. You know? Okay. Submit, Tim. Let's do this. Let's go slap Man United about. We have a next colour bikini. Bold of you to assume that I have multiple bikinis. Who has multiple bikinis? Lazy. Just wash them. Respect. I'll show you a bit of ankle. How about that? Right, let's have this. It'll be yellow, obviously. Of course. Man only needs one colour, and it's yellow. You know, I don't care about Europe. Let's just watch the Munster Senior Cup, shall we? The big one. Wait, we don't care about the Europa League either, do we? Because we've got no one in yet. Conference League. Right, Bows. Ignore the Roman shot on the bed. Do your thing. Hockey on grass or football on ice? I think football on ice would be way more interesting than hockey on grass, because hockey on grass already exists. Football on ice would be, presumably does exist in some mad part of Scandinavia or Canada. But I think football on ice would be fun as fuck. You'd have to have a really resilient ball so the ice skates don't pop it. Or you just don't give them ice skates. Just to hell with it. Off you go. First man to score 100 Premier League away goals. That feels like one of those stats that's almost got too many qualifiers. I feel like there's a certain point with stats. Although that one, I think it just about slips under. But there's a few stats that I hear that I'm just kind of like, oh. Some of them where you'll hear a stat be like, this player was the first player to score a hat-trick against Stoke City on a Wednesday night in April. And you're like, yeah, well done. Brilliant. Like, Bows are beating them. Kieran Foley has scored. Football on ice, that does sound sick, honestly. Yeah, so that's happening. They're actually winning. And it's our player as well that scored the winning... Well, not the winning goal. The current winning goal. Watch Bows get to a final today and not us. Come on. We've been a bit... Actually, we've been fine just without scoring a goal or actually seeing any highlights. Let's do a little bit of that. Just loosen them up a little bit. Just freshen... Loosen it, you know? Ooh, turn that back on again. Still 1-0. Okay. Hibs. Oh my god. Imagine Bows Hibs as a final. Adventures with Purpose. This is a sonar dive team who search for missing people who... Wow. That sounds amazing. Hazy, could you DM me that on Discord? Like a link to the channel? I know you have me on Discord, so that sounds really interesting. Sounds like something I'd be very fascinated by, honestly. Stu! Reese, thank you for all the follow. That sounds amazing. I used to watch this guy called, I think he was called Dally something or other. He used to do like diving stuff where he'd like go in rivers and find iPhones and shit. But I stopped watching after a while when it just felt like that man just had an obsession. Every day he'd just find like a new iPhone, and then every video came about being like, I returned this guy's iPhone. I'm just like, man, I don't care after the 7th attempt at this. One player to score a hat-trick in the top 5 English leagues, FA Cup and internationally. That man's Robbie Earnshaw. Wow. I forgot about Robert Earnshaw. As we are not losing to Manchester United. I thought we were about to be, but we are not currently. My YouTube algorithm recommendations lately have been really bad. Like, it constantly recommends me channels I'm already watching and subscribed to and videos I've already seen from those channels. I don't know why it suddenly got bad. Oh, something for my collection. Namibia home shirt. Mate, if that's in extra... Well, I'm buying that after stream. I'm not asked. I'm buying that after stream. Not only is it actually a good shirt, but yeah, big up Namibia. Richard Dangombe Massive. Having that. Thank you, Pulse. And it's only 25 quid. That's actually not bad for a shirt like that. That actually looks really nice. Why wasn't that brought up when we did the football shirt stream, eh? To be fair, I did still end up with 2 pretty sick shirts out of that stream. But like, yeah, exactly. I've not found any cool channels that I'm like, oh, I want to subscribe to this channel lately. The last time from looking for recommendations. It's so bland. I'm trying to think the last time I found a channel through that I was like, this is exciting. I'm excited about this new content that I have been recommended. What shirts did I get? I got the Palm Beach Breakers one that you'll have seen me wear a lot. The blue one with the sash on it and the collar. And I also got the... Was it Rocha? FC Rocha is a Uruguayan second tier side. I haven't worn that shirt as much. It doesn't fit quite as well. That's the blue and dark blue one I've got. What link's this to? I have to be careful when opening links because they play automatically a lot of the time. Particularly with... There's a third shirt. I like the red one. I still kind of like the red one, honestly. Although they're both pretty sick. There definitely was a channel I found the other day. Oh my lord. If this is how we take the lead here. Cookie Monster! Thank you very much for the follow. I said that really aggressively. We lead through an absolute piece of ineptitude from the Manchester... It's nice to see that finally go in our favour for once. One of those hilarious long balls where the defender, for no reason, just misses it. And then Paredes is just about to dunk on him here with a little dink over the keeper there. Oh, that was ice football. Oh, sick. Let me just load that. I don't think I'll be able to actually play it just in case, but... I got an advert. What is this advert for? Oh, it was do you want to work in Germany? How many assists my goalkeeper has? It doesn't track stats for keepers very well. Most of the time you can only see goals scored. Or do you? Not at the moment. But give it a chance. Still winning. I just don't know if one's going to be enough. Yeah, I figured it'd be like Scandi. Or Canada or something. I think we have, despite the way the goal was scored, I think we have deserved the win. Then again, I don't know if we even deserve to be in this round. I think the second leg against Bayern kind of redeemed us a bit. Oh, go on, Niakshu. You might have to shoot here. Tell me you saw that. Tell me your eyes witnessed what I just saw at the same time as you. That was our left wing back. Holy God on a bike. Sorry, you're going to see it again if you missed it. If you're not currently watching stream and you're just listening, now would be a time to just divert your eyes to the stream. Just give me a second of your time. Enjoy this. This is our left wing back. Ball played over the top from Shala. Niakshu's in on goal. Left wing back, in on goal, takes it to the side. Ronaldo chop, dinks it over the goalkeeper from a tight angle. What on earth? Yeah, that's the guy I was thinking of, Asher. Incredible scenes. I have to get I can't even press clip because my clip button's broken, damn it. That's incredible. That needs to go on TikTok. The Niakshu chop. If someone could clip that and give it a title for me, that'd be magnificent. That's a full-on TikTok, but I can't press clip. Good to go 2-0 up as well. What a finish from Niakshu. Holy shit. That was absolute filth. I've seen a player try something like that once, but it got blocked. It still doesn't even come close to the reverse Rabona back-heeled free kick. Nothing will ever come close to that. Admittedly, he missed the target with it, but I don't even care because I've never seen a player try that. Oh. I'm still wondering if that's a glitched animation that caused that to actually happen, but I don't even care because it was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Oh, cheers, Hazy. God, that save was so long ago, and I still remember the name of the player that did the reverse back-heeled Rabona free kick. Isaac Kirkaune, playing for Idrottafula Fjörgrifjardar. What a result. That's a good result, actually. 2-0. The question is, did Dunnedy Dorks, not Dunnedy Dorks, Andy Jr.'s out. No, sad times. Stuff that might come. Hang on. In what sense? Saz? What are we talking about? Or what have I missed? Oh, press the right button, Matt, damn it. Conference League. 1-0. How close was this? Playing for whom? Idrottafula Fjörgrifjardar. They're sports birds. IF in Faroe Islands. Wow, Bows were so lucky. They just mugged Roma off massively. But at least we both won. That should take us over 17 points, right? 17.5. I used to actually have a button I would push that would get Google Lady to say it for us. Oh, cheers, lads. That's very kind of you. That's going to end up going in the compilation. Plus, I can make a TikTok out of that. How to see if the goalkeeper has assists. Oh, really? Oh, are you adding that to your skin? Nice. Yeah, it sucks that they've added some stuff that's now going to make you have to rethink things in that skin, right? Have another clip. Give me more. I want more of them, damn it. So we've muddied Germany thoroughly. Wow, that is a genuinely awful. Even with our worst seasons, we never even came close to a 7.8 year. I think Germany do still have a team in Europe, though. They must do, otherwise that would not have gone up slightly. No, wait, no, there's nothing to do. No, they actually don't, do they? It's in the box. Oh, sick. Sorry, there was so much in there. Can you do a TikTok dance? Well, it depends. If sitting here being fetching is a dance, then yes, I've been doing it my whole life. Okay. 2-0 from the first leg is solid. There's no way that Bows pull off a result in Rome. There's just no way. They will get knocked out in that second leg. It just seems inevitable at this point. But we've got a good chance at another final. Which, who would it be against? I didn't see who was winning the other side. Very much Man City. Very, very much Man City. I'm a level with it. I wasn't actually expecting us to go all the way again today. But it's looking very likely that we might. We will rotate the squad. Full rotation. Do a bit of that. Yahia Madrid are back in. Velasco. I'm really liking the way we've got this team set up at the moment. The intro dance does technically count. That's true. That is a full-on dance. Didn't get a chance to do it today because I mucked up the word Euro. I nearly said it again. UEFA so badly that I had to stop and rethink my life. I reckon so, Morian, honestly. I see no reason why that's not possible. It starts at 2, right? Hey, why does it start at 2? Doesn't it normally start at 3 on a Saturday? Or is it because of the time zones? Where even is F1 this weekend? I've completely got out of the loop with F1 lately, other than there was a load of silly season stuff and some stuff about price caps. Oh, Singapore. So it is 2 o'clock. Right. Oh, when is the race then? Like, what time UK time? This is me deciding whether I can be asked to watch it. That's what this essentially is. Really nice to be color coded for it. I could do that. That would not be that much of a stretch, honestly. I can actually have that automated. Races 1 p.m. Oh, that's fine then. That's fine. I wasn't sure if there was going to be like some mad, like, late night, because there was a couple of like late night ones that I had to decide between watching the F1 or the NASCAR, and then I just had them on other monitors. But that'll be fine. I think that was only for the US ones, actually. And maybe for the Canadian one. I can't remember. Call from Dundalk. Team selection device. Good, 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 good. Wow. Dundee United really are very good. I can't believe they actually lost the title last year. Seems kind of mad that they were even able to do that, considering how good they've been. And they sold Randy Hobbs as well, so they've actually done this with less as well. The Aussie one was silly time. That's true, yeah. I think that's the one I just didn't even bother. Although I must admit, I've been switching off a lot in the middle of races anyway lately, just because I'm like, well, this is done. But the cost cap stuff does look kind of interesting to me, though, depending on what actually happens with that. What are Campos' full attributes? I think we already saw his full attributes, didn't we? I think we were able to view his entire... Oh, here we go. 15 million. I sold it for 43. Is he playing for them? I'll give it a bit longer on that one. I reckon he might gain a bit. Jackson Campash. Yeah, those are his attributes now. Trotter's at Madrid. Yep. He was being a... He wouldn't go back out on loan, so I thought I'd cash in for like 43 million with a 50% clause. Someone was saying, I read it was on TikTok, I think, again. It was like, imagine if Red Bull fail the cost cap thing, you get excluded or something, and then Ferrari still find a way to fuck up the entire... They still come second to like... Or there was another one, was like, imagine if it was actually like McLaren and Ferrari that failed it somehow. I'll just be take liberty. Well, it's kind of like FFP, isn't it, Stu? Like where, unless he was actually punished for breaking it. And even then, FFP is absolute nonsense in the first place. All it does is protect big sides and prevent anyone from competing with them. Wait, Valev, yep. There we go. This team is actually kind of stacked. Now, particularly starting 11. Spider Monkeys released into the cockpit. Yeah, I could see that doing that. Binotto's latest, greatest strategy. It was like, the thing is, it won't even be that. It'll be something really boring, like an electronics failure. Did I hear that Verstappen and someone else have taken, like, penalties? Noticing it now. Noticing what? I've literally forgotten. Oh, how stacked we are. I mean, just, like, seeing star ratings being so high. It felt like we were good for a while, but never felt stacked. Right, that Bose game, man. If they don't lose... Well, that's got... Fucking Przemysław Dara. Sorry, Przemysław Dara has just scored against Bose. I think he might have spent time on loan but no, he didn't, did he? Of all the people to score in again, I didn't even know he was at Roma. I suppose most people are former players of ours at this point, so it's not really a huge surprise that he was... Wow, the action was well far forward there. There's just no way they hang on. I think they lose that tie like... I reckon they lose the game on the night like 3-1, and it's like agonizing. It does feel like every single player in the world has... Oh, shit. Nah, he's offside. It feels like everyone has played for us at some point. The amount of times we'll see players flashing up on those scoring cards, being like, oh yeah, that's a player we had like 15 years ago. I guess that's the... Wait. I swear he didn't have his hands in the air there. I mean, he's onside, yeah, fair one. I just thought he was offside because he didn't put his hands up. Maybe he did. Must have missed it. Okay, not a great start from us there. Yeah, that's... If we could tagline this entire save, I think at this stage of my career would probably be the... You know, the overall tagline for it, which is sad. I don't want it to be that. I want it to be something like, here we are, number 1. We had an all-Irish final or something like that, you know? I'm genuinely amazed that we've even had the success we have had with it in terms of getting Shamrock to win one, having Sligo getting to a semi-final of the Champions League, which never happened even in Norway. And some of the other successes we've had have genuinely been kind of fun. But I do think that Hungary could be the final step in towards doing that. As Paredes is slaughtered. Slaughtered? He's slaughtered, chat. He's cold slaughtered everywhere. That time that someone came into chat called Cold Slaw or Coleslaw, and I called him Kolislav because I was so used to pronouncing Polish names. That lives rent-free in my head at the moment. Yearly Irish final in the cup. This is true. The biggest game in Europe. It feels like they did, like, Facundo Rodriguez, who got Man United assists totally. Yeah, it feels like a guy we'd have had that I'd have brought in from, like, an Ecuadorian side, been on loan at Shamrock for a little bit, then released. Other teams up with you. It's the loans. The loans is how it's done. You call us Wav. Probably, if it's super Polish, yeah. I think the loans is what did it. And then Bows have equalised. Bows have equalised. Insanity. And it is Kitanovsky, one of our former players, I think. I mean, they all could be at this point, right? I think starting on getting the loans out as quickly as possible is the key. You have to get... if you leave it too long and you end up with too good of... Basically, your players end up becoming too good for the clubs you're trying to loan them to, and as a result, they won't go. You need to start as soon as possible so they grow together. And then as you get better players coming in on that you want to send out on loan, the clubs you're sending them to have an established squad already. That, for me, is really important. So you've got to start the loan farm as soon as you can, really. Watch it be of, like, Bose actually played really well or something. If they actually knock Roma out, I'd be amazed by that. And if they got to another final, because that would only be the second time put Europa back up. Did Europa go away? There's no one in the Europa League. That's why I'm not looking at it, because we've not got any teams left there. Original squads, just to show their growth. Oh, yeah, they get absolutely twatted. Oh, I see. Went away. Oh, shit. Here's what you missed. Girardi. I said 3-1, didn't I? And I'm worried that that's... There you go. There it is. There's the inevitable. Wow, base sal's been poor, but we've got no choice but to keep him on Bibby. Yeah, I think we'll just put it back away. Just pretend it doesn't exist. Hey, Matt. I'm good, my friend. How are you? I'm about to be disappointed, though, because once again, I have predicted bad things, and those bad things have come to pass. Hopefully we can turn this into a win. Bohemian. Maybe if they grab another cheeky one, there's still a chance. Plus, there's also still a chance that we get knocked out. That's still completely possible at this point. It's not looking that likely, given that we're at 1-1, but I'd like to at least try and win this game too. Hey, Bay! Same stream schedule for F23? No. The stream schedule for F23 is changing. So, it'll be... Well, there's the first one back for him. I think he's offside, though. Weekdays, same as always. It's the weekend stream that will change. So, for FM23, it'll be Sunday streams, and it'll be 10 till 2 UK time. So, so an hour earlier. And a different day. So, that's the change for FM23. Let's go again. That's right, we'll change it back and it'll be 3-3, and we'll be all happy. Oh, I'm trying to will it into existence. It doesn't work like that, does it? That game's going to finish 3-3. I'm telling you now. Bose, 3-3. Take it away. Thoughts are, honestly, Matt, I'm not even vaguely interested in most of it. To the point where it's just completely, what's the word, ambivalent to it. Which is a shame. But there you go. Pajama streams, hell yeah. It basically just means it's the perfect day. It allows Pog and I to have a day off together, which is a nice thing. And it also means that it won't clash with like early Premier League kickoffs, qualifying of F1. It won't clash with the races of F1 or anything like that. Yeah, so not only is the base file that I'll start the save with MTK going to go public, it'll be in the Discord or whatever. I'll also have the database specifics that I use. So if you might want to start your own like on a random seed or something of that same save, then I'll let that happen as well. And we'll also have, I'm going to do a video that'll be like an unlisted video. It's kind of like a change log where I'll go through all the changes we're going to make pre-game as well. That way it sort of explains why things are the way they are. So we are in the Champions League final. It looks like Bose sadly were slightly short of it. Yeah, the editor file as well. So we'll have the save file and the editor file in case you want to start a fresh save that doesn't have the same like seedings and regens that mine will have. So yeah, all of that will be put up as well. It's like a big pack or something. Luckily it'll be quite small at the start. Couldn't agree more. I haven't actually watched Ben's video about it. What did he say? I've seen his tweets, and obviously I've seen like other stuff he said more privately to people. And I agree with all of it. I'm really not hopeful at all, Viva. There's nothing in there that maybe, other than things I liked from the features I've seen so far. I like the bespoke celebrations for Champions League and Europa League and stuff like that. That's cool. I'm glad they've done that. They had to. They got the license. I like that. I like the draws that they've changed. I think the pageantry for that is kind of sick, and I like that they've expanded it to all the competitions as well, so it's not just those that are affected. I like that. I like the fact that players no longer have to wait a month before you can ask them to re-enter contract negotiations. I like that. That seems silly that it wasn't a thing. I'm glad that's in the game. I also like the fact that in the blog post they said that it would now be, you'd get way more information about why players won't join you when they won't join you and stuff like that. I'll believe it when I see it, but I like the fact that they're heading that direction. It's one of my biggest complaints is not knowing why something's happening. Other than that, nothing else in there made me even vaguely interested. Everything else felt like it would actually be actively hindering my experience. Oh, no, that's not true. It was either neutral or actively making the experience worse for me. Those are the things. So basically you now have the option to resolve... Now, whether that will work or not, I don't know, Viva. But they've now made it so that you can just return to the contract negotiations. If you don't talk... This is very true, Inferno. I should just read my Bearfax book the whole time, right? I think that's my new plan. Conference League. So, yeah, Roma Hibs in the final. It was 3-1, which is my prediction, annoyingly. But there you go. Up the Mariners! Thank you for the follow. They actually did 26% possession, and they still managed to score a goal. Except Jake Gonzalez. I was going to say, if he isn't American, I don't know what he is. Make it actually worse. Supporter confidence stuff. I think supporter confidence stuff is going to have no positive impact and will actively make saves more annoying to play. Because I suspect that it's going to be things like... It's just going to give you new ways to get sacked that you didn't expect when it doesn't work and is imbalanced. And I reckon it won't scale properly, so it will actively cause you problems in long-term saves, which is what we do, obviously. So that's where I'm worried about it. I'm just not seeing what it adds from a positive standpoint. Come through at Roma. I think he did, actually. I think Roma have produced quite a few American players in this save. Oh, no, that's not true. Oh, yes, it is. Yeah, no, he came through at Roma, was at Beerschot, and then Nacional. It could be a fan from Seattle, Asher. You never know these things, right? The supporter confidence thing feels like a second version of Club Vision. And we already know how broken and annoying this can be in places when you get things like, for example, things like this. Obviously, it's only a disappointed one. But you can get situations where if you spend your original transfer budget, you'd put the club into financial ruin, but your board would still be annoyed at you for doing it. And things like, my favourite example of this is where you fail the one for making the most of set pieces despite scoring 6 times more set pieces than anybody else in the league you're playing in. Because technically, in order to make the most of them, you have to have play for set pieces turned on. It doesn't matter how many you score for set pieces, only that you're playing for them. Shit like that. I don't want the ability for you to get sacked for more random shite, you know? I don't want long-term amazing saves where you're having a great immersive experience ruined by random RNG nonsense, basically. That stuff like that is what I worry about with things like supporter confidence, basically. It feels like a new way. It's more rakes to step on. Fans like you, but your board doesn't. But will they, though? Because I always feel like these things never seem to work like that. They always seem to work on the other side of that, where it's more a case of, even if your board like you and you're doing well, you might have, like, signed the wrong striker or something, and then the fans hate you and you get sacked anyway. Like, how are they going to respect... How are the fans going to respond to us running a loan farm, is my question. Is that going to cause a negative impact to the point where we might get sacked for it? I kind of find that anything that puts more restrictions on the way you play the game, for me, is kind of a negative, because I feel like I like the freedom to play the game in a way that... I like setting restrictions myself rather than the game enforcing them for you. More ways to get sacked. Well, I mean, they've already said that literally that is a new way to get sacked. In the video and in the blog post, I'm pretty certain they stated almost explicitly that is a new way that you can find yourself out of a job. So I think that's exactly what that is. Amongst other things too, of course. But I'm very certain that's what they said. It's just another method. And then they have to work together in some way, and I'm worried that they won't, you know? The Kim said they are working on things you want, but it will take a few years to implement. That would be good PR. Yeah, but that's not how it works, is it? There you go, exactly. Loans to a rival. Like, stuff like that. Or what if they don't like the fact that because of the way that we're having to do the same, they don't like the fact that we're not signing loads of Hungarian players because we'd weaken our other opponents. Now, obviously, this is a very niche thing for the fact that the way I'm playing the same. That's not how most people play it. But I find, like, things that make it harder for you to just play the game in a fun way. I don't know. If they were dynamic, that's the thing. Will it scale properly? What if you take a small side and make them big? Do they still have the dynamics, the supporter confidence of a tiny side? Because that thing surely would change. Do I stay in? I don't know, actually, Charlie. Probably? I'd never even thought about that, honestly. Update to the in-game social media stuff. I mean, yeah, look at that, exactly. It's all about execution, and with the track record of some of the things that have been implemented, I worry about it, you know? I don't know, Rad. There's just so many things I feel like that if that was the case and they take that stuff into account, there's so many things that wouldn't be in FM23. Sorry, in FM22 at the moment, you know? Beating rivals doesn't seem to make much difference overall. Hey, what if it doesn't make much difference overall? What's the point in it exist? I suppose. Like, why does it need to exist then? If there's no much point, if it makes no difference, then it's just fluff, isn't it? I do think some of the stuff in there looks kind of cool. I just think it's kind of just a bit like, is this what we needed? Is this what the game needed? Someone had to spend time designing this when they could have been doing stuff to do with international football, is my point. I just think how amazingly happy people would have been if they said, right, we've overhauled the way international football works. The World Cup's coming up. Go for it. I just think that would have been such an amazing win for PR and for marketing as well. Like, I also think to myself, maybe they could have, if they'd have spent time, maybe they could have gone after a World Cup license instead of UEFA's licenses. It might have been more expensive, and I don't know the legal stuff for that, of course. And I feel like maybe actually long term having the UEFA licenses is probably better because it's more of a time rather than just like a one-off thing.
Here's a fun fact. Voltaire
Scamps, thank you for the follow.
is just 2 blocks from here.
The manager timeline for me is the biggest piece of fluff, for sure, yes. Because it's just the end of season thingy again, isn't it? Without any real, just some different menus for it that... Buddy, you're the one that decided not to go back on loan to Dundalk after 15 years at the club. Holds your account to a club vision more than we currently are, but I don't think it is going to be dynamic. That's what my biggest concern is. I don't think it actually is going to be dynamic. Imagine you're starting. Hang on, you've played loads. Ah, fair one. That makes a lot of sense as well, yeah. Oh, so Scholl's going to miss the Champions League. Didn't he miss it last year as well? With things like the planner, like, here's how I think the planner could be cool. If the planner, you know when you could, like, rank your players, if that was then taken into account when squad selection advice happened, I would be over the moon. We know that's not going to be in the game. That would be sick. That's another thing, right? Fans aren't going to care about my rivalries because you don't get any dynamic rivals anyway because they don't work properly. No, yeah, I was expecting Data Hub to be improved, honestly. When I say improved, I actually thought Data Hub was sick, but I thought it would be like, this is the first year of Data Hub, now we're expanding on that. But maybe they didn't feel the need to mention it because it's not, I feel like an update to an existing feature would not have sounded headline enough, so I actually can understand maybe why that wouldn't have been put in there. But I feel like F1 Manager looks the way it does because of the limited amount of things they've actually had to do in terms of the depth of it. And I feel like if someone said to me, FM could have graphics that look a bit like F1 Manager but no depth whatsoever, I'd still choose the one with depth. Every single day. Like, graphics are fine and all, but if there's nothing, if the graphics aren't representing anything that's actually interesting or fun to play, I couldn't care less what they're showing, you know? They could have hyper-realistic FM in terms of the match engine, like photorealistic football matches, and I would not care if the actual game itself had nothing to it. If that was the only thing they had, which of course they don't. I think you're right. Also, do you remember when Versus mode was left out as like a half... We're going to bring it in halfway through. It's going to be a massive thing, and there's loads of cool stuff we're going to do with that. Not a dicky bird about that. GC's been okay. I think. He scored like 10 goals for them last season. Nice speciality. Yeah, that's the thing. I looked at it, I went, this looks really good, but I feel like I'm not going to have that much fun after a couple of seasons of that. LOL Versus mode, exactly. But there's so much you could do with Versus mode and online stuff. Imagine if you could have some way of like ELO ranking system so you could play online with your friends, get players through some sort of method, like not like Ultimate Team, but not like it at the same time. That'd be a great way of winning over the FIFA crowd. But hey, edgy for half the game. Yeah, freely move. That's another thing. You're right. Yeah, I just missed the old UI for matches where you could have little things that you pinned to the screen and it didn't cover up half the damn screen when you tried to use it. Feels like you see less and less of the match now, and it's just more and more stuff that you don't always want in your face all the time. I miss being able to have the floating stats thingy that you could adjust the size of and just have it in the corner if you needed it to. Things like that. I thought that was a really nice thing. I like giving anything that adds control to the user and gives you additional flexibility and accessibility. I like that sort of stuff, you know? Match graphically better. There is a limitation based on licensing as to why they can't do too much with that to a certain point, but I also feel like they can kind of... That being said, that doesn't excuse the stadiums. Better multiplayer games. True, but that doesn't mean FM couldn't enter that market. Like, I think there's so much that could be done with network games. More. Though they already are anyway. Another guy that came back and then refused to go back out on loan and now wants to leave. It's like, well, then leave. You're an important player. No, you're not. There we go. Yeah, just if they just freed up the stadium a little bit so that they were much easier to mod. Like everything else kind of is. Obviously, that's a lot more work with stadiums. Happened to my club in Dynamo Kiev that didn't actually include me. We were both in the Ukrainian league. Dynamo Kiev had me listed as a rival, but on the club's profile, I had no rivals listed. Every time a new piece comes through about the rivalry, name it everything. Never actually enjoy it or any questions. Wow, that's just insane, isn't it? The game is still incredible value for money. Of course it is. But I feel like there is a balance. When you get thousands of hours out of this and it's X price. That's amazing. But then if you're then asking for that money again, you do still need to be... You need to give people a reason why they should buy that next edition and not just keep with what they're going at, what their current edition is, you know? And there has to be some kind of evolution, right? turn timer for a next work game. I think that does exist, doesn't it? Maybe? I'm not sure. We have stuff like that sort of in Showdown, I think. Although it might be slightly different. Although Showdown technically is a network game. When you're actually seeing the matches, that's just like a normal network game. They're not actually playing that through draft mode or anything. Which is why it probably runs as well as it does, because of the insane work that Matt does behind the scenes. Right, when's this final coming up? We've got a Champions League final somewhere in here, haven't we? 14 days. Oh, my lord. Oh, we just have to play 4 games between now and then. That's fine. Nothing to see here. Expect we'll get all of our players injured like we did last time, too. Design your own stadium in the back. I think that their sort of response to that would be that a manager would never have that kind of input on a club. And I do understand that logic too, but then there's also a lot of areas that you have control over in FM that a manager would never have actual control of in real life as well. So, but I think that that's probably the reasoning there. But if he's still there, it's just that we've been rotating the squad around a lot. When I'm actually noticing a game, I've been dragging him in. Playable counter-based tactic. I mean, I'm glad that that's going to be in thing. I just hope that it doesn't mean that the only tactics you can play are low block and counter-based tactics. I hope that it means that they've varied up the tactical styles that are available for you to actually play and have success with, because that'd be really sick. Didn't we just have this discussion? Oh, he's happy to stay. Fair one. Out for 4 months. 2 months more to go for recovery. Really? Oh, by the way, actually, speaking of that, to be fair, he's still fucking excellent. Swanetsky actually won both the best goalkeeper and Golden Glove last season as well. There always is, but it's just like, if it was just a little bit scaled down, it'll probably be the same, yeah. Even if it was just things that, like, the way that boards behave, and we just lost in the... Is that the final? Oh, it is the final. Lost to Man City, ironically. Hello, Pogs. There's just so much that can be done with some of the... There's a lot that can be done with the existing structure. That's the thing that makes it so much more, you know? There's just so much that could be done with that. Like, honestly, if they came out and said, there's no, like, new features per se for this year. Obviously, they could never do this because of the marketing element of things. But player dynamics have been overhauled, and now they're much more logical, and we've used a lot more logical things to actually make that work. Player playing time makes way more sense now. The transfer AI of clubs has changed, and it's now much more interesting but also realistic at the same time. Things like, I realise that wouldn't grab headlines, but bugger me would it be amazingly exciting to hear as a player of the actual game existing. But of course, what they're not looking for the person who plays it already. They're looking for the player who doesn't. And I worry that in the quest for that, if you try to please everybody, you can please nobody, because it's kind of like you look at a niche thing that you get a few people that really enjoy it. The more and more that you dilute that niche thing that people enjoy by trying to bridge the gap to a newer audience, eventually it reaches a nice equilibrium point where you've expanded it out and gained a nice audience and also added features whilst also keeping your hardcore player base happy. It feels like, though, at a certain point, you dilute that too much to the point where it kind of just doesn't become anything other than marketing. You see this in a lot of certain things, but yeah, you have to be careful with that. Yeah, almost like that, Icarus, but that would be very tough to make, I think. I think that's just modern gaming in general now. You notice this a lot, other than like with really small devs. It feels like you see a lot of that just in general, because it's all about growth. Everything is growth. It's not how many games did we sell, it's how many more games did we sell than last year. Which obviously they are expanding and whatnot. But this is another thing. It's like they're expanding. But where are we seeing... Where is this expansion being represented when you actually go and play the game? Like, what are those... All these people that are being hired, they every year they say, we're expanding, new offices, hiring loads and loads of staff. What are those people doing? What areas of the company are those people working in, and how are they impacting each game cycle? I'm curious about that. It's dynamic. Next year's game, exactly that. Yeah, but if you focus your entire energy on marketing Thing, then eventually there's nothing left to market because Thing has no longer had any effort put into it. But I don't know. We don't know where they've actually got. I'm just... I don't know. It's just hard to say, isn't it, really? Working on another game, not Football Manager. Did it really? What did they say about that? Living the dream. To be fair, like, that's their job. I completely understand that. Like, that's what you'd want. You'd want them watching games, because at least if they're actually, you know, that's going to give you that great view of that sort of stuff. So I think that's actually completely understandable. No, yeah. There needs to be an incentive to improve. If they've done like a cost benefit, if they've done an analysis that basically means if we spend a lot of money on marketing and stuff, and not actually that much on the actual game itself here, will we still make money and still grow the sales each year? And if that's more profitable than making features, then why wouldn't you do that from a business standpoint? But my point is that has a limit. There's surely going to come a point where that is a hard limit when everyone goes, actually, this is just kind of shit. And then what do you do? Okay, Superman. Yeah, true. That's Watford. Okay. Actually, I should put Valve in. To stop ignoring him from the team, bless him. Interesting. What the other game is then? I'm trying to think what it could possibly be. Unless it is like an FMO thing or an FM Live thing again. Because if so, carry on. 7-0. Decent. We'll take that. We're not top of the league. Hang on. How has that happened? I know we lost a game. Wow, Dundalk are really good, aren't they? FM NFTs. I swear to God, mate. I genuinely, if it was some shitty mobile game or some FM NFTs, I think I'd become a full-time Peglin streamer. At that point, I think... It's a developer, true, but I mean, they are associated entirely with FM. The last thing they produced that, as far as I know, wasn't FM was Eastside Hockey Manager. Which, I believe they already had a lot of stuff for. Regions will be NFT. Oh, God. I could not think of anything worse. Yeah, it's Lemurs of Madagascar, innit? No natural predators. Don't think they really did say. I don't know. I'm just going up on what chat just told me, to be fair. If SI started in Web 3, I'd become an Armenian. Only database updates. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I've played a bit of Eastside Hockey Manager. I'll give you 4 ETH for Valor. That's quite a lot, you know. Yeah, I'm going to list fucking... Don't worry, lads. I'm putting Aaron Scholl up on OpenSea. It's fine. They've got a new attribute. It's like blockchain value or something. They've all got like Bitcoin wallets attached to the bottom of them. You can trade players between saves using using like the blockchain. Oh dear. Well, future prospects. To be fair, future projects probably just means FM24 because they operate on a 3-game cycle. So they'll already have people there working on stuff for FM24 and 25. A lot of the things that are being implemented now probably would have been started on 3 years ago, which is, I do wonder if that's what causes some problems sometimes. In that they're probably there could be devs sat there going, I'm working on international management right now. It's amazing. There's an overhaul, but you're not going to see it for 2 years. And by that point, it's too late. Well, not too late, but like the hype of when it would have been potentially better has already passed. Didn't confirm the hash in time. Yeah, we got the value bump after the last Champions League win, which was nice. So 7 days to Man City, so we go full strength here. Start Valab again, actually. There we go. So what a spaghetti code. I think that you'd need an entire kitchen of Italian chefs to sort that out. Potentially. Then you could use the... Then FM, yeah, I could sell Aaron Scholl on the Silk Road, chat. We'll get Ross Ulbrich out of prison. Hasn't tried to buy them out. Well, technically, I think they have quite a close deal with Sega. I don't know. But then also, I think if they were bought out, it would be even worse. Like, them being independent does still have its benefits for everyone. Trust me. Because who would buy them out? There's very few companies that have that kind of clout. You're looking at Ubisoft, EA Games, fucking Activision Blizzard, trying to think of other large game studios. Would you want any of them being in charge of FM? Like, I sure as shit wouldn't. Like, you think you don't like it now? That would be a lot worse, I can assure you. Well, Dream 11. Oh yeah. It's usually last year it was quite a lot. Yeah, Valev, Roberto, ironically. I don't know how. Tribovic, Neslo, Holvut, Bogdanov, and also Swanetsky. And then Valev. But yeah, we get a lot of players in this now, thankfully. Big games that are similar to FM. I mean, Paradox. Actually, yeah, Paradox is the only company I would maybe trust. But is Paradox the type of company that... Paradox not the type of company that are going to go and buy an entire game studio like FM. Could they even afford them? Published by Sega. Now part of Sega. Yeah, I thought Sega had a bigger connection than it makes out that it does. Like, Sega are very heavily intertwined with them. I think they like to pretend that it's independent of Sega. But in actuality, it's not. It's a DLC. That's also true, yeah. Paradox do a lot of things wrong as well when you think of how much the DLC stuff costs. But I also feel like... Oh, just imagine. I want an FM to CK3 slave converter. Now you're talking. That's the big one. Paradox do produce an awful lot. And I think the biggest crossover between FM and any other type of game is Paradox stuff. Just for sure. I think way more people play FM games than Paradox games, and almost... I think the Venn diagram is, like, so damn close. Not, like, super close, but more than any other. Even more than FIFA, I would say. Or certainly very close to it. What we missed? So we're in the Champions League final against Twinkle Toes for the third season in a row. Bows did get to the semi-finals of the Conference League, but sadly they lost 3-2 on aggregate to Roma. And all the others went out. But we're still on for a very good year. Our best year... possibly... could even be ever. I'm not entirely sure how close it could get. But very, very close to it. Oh, why is Bilbia in midfield? Surely... Yeah, we could put Bello there, I suppose. SI are very good with the mods. That's one thing, believe me, it could be a lot. If they were bought by a major studio, major studio, the mods thing would completely end overnight. It'd be licenses or nothing. Yeah, we're probably going to lose this game, I suspect. Out the Park Baseball, maybe. I technically own a copy of one of their games. I just don't know which one, or have barely played it. Anything that tickles that spreadsheetery that a lot of us are very much absolute pervs for is pretty much where our market sits, isn't it, really? 3-3. Well, a couple of goals for Yahi. We can see the late one. That's a shame. Ultra Corps, thank you for the follow. So we stay second in the league. Dundalk are doing a bit of a moulder here. So fair play to them. They're miles clear of everybody else. Need a new director. I could not possibly comment on that. That's just their internal. I don't think that you'll see that happen unless Miles was actually to personally leave the studio of his own accord. I don't think that would ever happen. They would definitely never push someone like Miles out of the studio. There's just no way that would work. He's very few game studio heads are that well known. Other than maybe, what's his name? Todd, what's his from Bethesda? I can't remember his actual name. Todd Howard. Shiny shoes. Todd Howard. And maybe it was the guy from Phil something from, oh, fucking hell. What, is it Bungie? No. I can't remember. I'm trying to think of gaming studio heads that I'm aware of. Spurs Red. Spill Spencer, that's it, yeah. He's still got Mars on the tank, exactly. Ignoring this meeting, of course, because they are a trap. It looks like we'll be finished perfectly in time for F1 qualifying at this rate, chat. Which is delightful. The location. Maybe. Maybe he does both, Aiden. Man's a polymath, alright? Bilbia, Paredes, South. Oh, Shaw is back. That's fine. It feels like Man City haven't actually been in the final for ages. I'm going to start Valev, of course, because he's my boy. Instant result the final. Even I'm not that mad. We doing it. We doing the final. We'll do it on key, though, so we can all get off and watch the qualifying. It would be quite cool to win 3 Champions Leagues in a row. I've never done that on any FM ever. In fact, I don't think I've even done back-to-back Champions Leagues before. Let's have it. Vitinha is currently the manager. Any names I recognise in here other than obvious? Bloody El Barto. El Barto's going to save a penalty against us in this game. I'm predicting it now. There's no other games on this there? No. They would never play them at the same time. That'd be silly. Come on. Niakshu scored that outrageous goal against Manchester United. He was a legend in the last Champions League final. Can he do it again? He's got a bit of a history in big games. Him and Mane are, of course, no longer with us. But here's a good chance for us off the bat. It's Valev! It's off the crossbar. Cleared away. Actually, yeah, we might have done. Back-to-back at Bologna. True. I think I definitely won. I've won 3 with Bologna, I think. I won 3 with Tromsø, and we've got 3 already with Treaty. If we win this one, this would be the most Champions Leagues I've ever won in a save with the same side. It'd be our 4th Champions League and our 3rd in a row as well. And that is just awful. El Barto is helping us out here. Agent Barto. Oh! Insane. Man City 0, Treaty 1. Mbaye Sao scores his 2nd goal in a Champions League final. What a goal! That's incredible. El Barto just clatters it to him. But actually, to be fair, that's not really El Barto's fault. That's more Archibald. Look at this from Mbaye Sao. Champions League final rocket of a strike. Keeper gets a hand to it, can't keep it out. Sao scored in the last final against Man United as well. That's incredible. What a start for Treaty United. Agent El Barto. We played the long game on him. Pow, Sao. Wow, this has got all the hallmarks of a Champions League final, hasn't it? With just nothing happening. No, sadly, Bose went out 3-2. They lost 3-1 in the second leg. Unfortunately, I predicted the exact... what state? I don't know, actually. It looks big, if that helps. We'll check after the match, which, admittedly, at the moment, feels like it's going to be in, like, 10 seconds. You'd have won more than that if you did Scotland. You're not wrong. What a defensive display. God, Champions League finals ain't half boring in FM, aren't they? I'm just noticing how little happens in Champions League finals when you're not on full match. But at the moment, we're in a good spot. It's looking okay for the moment. Oh my god. Boring in real life too. Yeah, they're always very cagey, aren't they? If Mbaye Sao's goal is what wins another Champions League final for us, he'll have as many Champions League final goals as I think any other Treaty player. Because Mane will have 2. And Sao will and Mbaye Sao will have 2. And Niakshu, go on, whip it. Back oh, Paredes! It's 2. Oscar Paredes, Man City 0, Treaty United 2. He scores in the Champions League final. What a ball from Doran Niakshu. It's looking pretty good, isn't it? I think we might have room for one more Champions League next week. Oh, what a pass from Scholl. What a cross. Was this first time from Niakshu as well? How did Paredes win that header? Lovely stuff. Get dunked on, City. Right, now would be a good time to just sort of shuffle this around. Scholl probably needs to come off here. But we've got Roberto, so that's all good. Trubovic could probably do with a run. Might even get Bilbia on for a bit. Save that, and then keep the rest of that the same. Oh. Lovely. 3-1 Arsenal, wow. Emmett Doran, well, he's never scored in the Champions League final, has he? I think he retired before we ever got to one, actually. Xhaka scored. Hot damn. How long's left in the game? Speaking of left in the game. Oh, 4 minutes. I feel like El Barto, he's done us a massive solid here. Oh, 66, so plenty of time then, actually. So the Celtic guy went to Chelsea. So basically what happened was Chelsea tried to buy him before his contract finished. And I tried to buy him too. I offered him 3 times the money and a higher squad status, and he signed for Chelsea's under-23s. Because this is just how FM works. Let's ignore the fact that we've won the last 2 Champions League finals. Oh, what a save from Swanetsky. Oh, what an unbelievable stop. That's a genuinely outrageous save. Fair play, bruv. Okay, we'll get Yahi on now. Oh, and he saved it again! Swanetsky has actually done very, very well in Champions League finals over the year. He's kept clean sheets in the past. Obviously not against Man United, but a couple of brilliant saves there. And now, I can't believe we've escaped there without conceding a goal. Because of that, yeah, it's just frustrating, isn't it? Oh, look, a little touch from Ramos there. Go on, finish this off. Don't concede a late one. Oh, we're going to though, aren't we? Just giving it to them. There we go. Oh, they've allowed Paredes to bring this down. Go on. Send Bilby a 3. Or just run through yourself. This is insane. Paredes. Oscar Paredes. Good save. Yeah, what he wants is under 23 football at this stage in his career. Imagine that, though. Being told that... Like, I was going to give him, like, regular starter or something like that in our team. Because he would have been, honestly. Imagine that. Being promised regular starter, 3 times the money in a team that had just won back-to-back Champions Leagues. And then going, yeah, but wouldn't it be cool if I went on Future Prospect and sat in Chelsea's under 23s instead on a third of the money? That makes a lot of sense, in fairness. I would do the same. Go on, one more. Give us a big, cheeky finish. Bilbia! What a save from El Barto. He's not going to be totally embarrassed today. And to his credit, it wasn't really his fault for their goal. For our goal, it was more the terrible clearance from Archibald. Ramos' ball cleared away. Paredes fires it into space, apparently. And that's surely going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do 3 back-to-back Champions League wins. We've won the Champions League 3 years in a row now. If we don't get another value bump, I don't know what we have to do at this point. Man City 0, Treaty United 2. You love to see it. Ah, the three-peats. The board will be like B-, not good enough. So we beat Man United and now Man City in back-to-back Champions League finals. Manchester is getting mudded by us at the moment there. Who's that lifting the trophy there? Is that... What did Mitrovic, would he? Because he wasn't on the pitch. Things you love to see. And then we just skip the post-match because we're over it. Champions League is beneath us now. 3 in a row. You love to see it. And it's good for coefficient, right? We do at least get an extra sort of 0.5 for that because we'll get the point for winning it and then we'll get the point... We get the points for the win of the game and then we get the little extra bit that you get for winning it. Scotland, yeah, but it's not though, is it, Viva? That's the thing. If the game explicitly said that, I'd love that. Did we win the President's Cup? We haven't. Yeah, of course we did. Yeah, we need a new Champions League. Like, we're just over it at this point. 18.5. 18.5 points. And that was only with us as a 5th side. Next year, we're going to be 7th. Roma must have won the Conference League, yeah. Only England did better than us this year. We extended the gap over Germany by 6 points in the end from where it was at one point. We gained 11 more points than them and got a 6-point haul back. They started the year 10 clear of us and we still overtook them. We're still 7 behind Scotland, but next year is going to be very interesting because we're going to have only 5 sides in Europe next year and they're going to be in lower leagues as well. I think next year there's a real shot at a 20-point season if we play our cards right and the other Irish sides do as well. I think there's a really strong shot that we get to finish things off with a 20-point season. So Europa League was won by Milan over Monaco and the Conference League... Scotland can't fucking help themselves, can they? Hibs now win... Hang on, didn't they win the... Hearts, then Hibs. Back-to-back Edinburgh Champions Conference League winners. Fucking hell, Hibs. Oh, that could have been... This could have been a Derry-Bose final. And it would have been pogged up. I could imagine the coefficient if we had both of them in the final. That would have been insane. 17 million for it. Medals, obviously, for days. 4 times in 6 years. The board are delighted. How delighted can you possibly be at this point, right? They're just over it. It's old hat. That'll obviously change in the summer, I suspect. All of our players are still going to be wanted by other clubs, and they'll probably say things like, I feel like I want to move to a bigger side. And I'm like, you mad, bruv. Oh. You can see, yeah, the Roma shirt is crying. League rep, that won't change. Not yet, anyway. That doesn't change until the crossover point. You can see that we've been 7th for 5 years now. If that isn't enough for us to not even overtake Scotland, but start to catch up on, like, someone, then, yeah. 10-year club coefficients, years. Then he's going to like that, Saz. He's going to like that a lot. It's under Europe. Club coefficients. God, look at that. Sitting on a nice 158 coefficient. We've actually somehow managed to gain points on that, despite a season. We lost a season that we won the Champions League and replaced it with a slightly better season where we won the Champions League. Still, the last 10 years, though, we're actually not the best. That's still Chelsea and Real Madrid. By quite some margin still, actually, as it goes. Because we've got that 18 season and the 23. But in the next few years, I think we'll just start to catch them up massively at that point, right? It's also nice to see Dundalk, though, still 15th, although they've had a really bad year. So they're going to lose a lot of ground this year, which is a shame. Sligo Rovers 23rd. Shamrock 29th. Derry City are probably still gaining a load of Yeah, they're actually 41st at the moment. They're getting there. That might be enough, actually, for them to get pot 1 next year for something. Includes title points. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. What does that mean? For, like, domestic titles and stuff? Or something? What does title points mean? Is that based on, like, you get a certain number of points for winning your domestic league? Even though we've... Presumably because ours is lower ranked for some reason. Even though it shouldn't really be, should it? Maybe that doesn't scale properly. Imagine. Says it's for revenue. Yeah, so that's for Champions League revenue. Oh, and for the pass. So ours is going to slowly creep up then. Very, very slowly indeed. Right, let me save that there. Holy shit, my friends. Wow. I can't believe we've actually done it. I can't believe we've won 3 straight Champions Leagues. So, what that means, of course, is that next week we've got 2 streams. Tuesday, Thursday. And Thursday is the final ever treaty stream. That means we get to finish, potentially, on Thursday with a Champions League final. If we can get to the 4th one, and we've only got 5 sides in Europe, it's a big year for Ireland. I reckon our target, we're never going to get what we want, but I reckon our target for, we'll be happy with that, is if we can get a 20-point season for next year with the Irish sides. I think that's going to happen. And I think that has to be our target for there. Who's streaming? There was a lot of people streaming earlier, but I imagine with all the stuff going, wow, there is just nobody on. Holy shit. There's 2 people with English in their title, and I'm one of them. They're looking back, so yeah, I'm away from next Friday for like 10 days. So the looking forward stream for Treaty will be the 18th of October, and then the Nomads one will be on the 20th of October. So I'm going to raid Gavin Brash, someone I have never raided before, so I guess we've got to do the flag thing. So do be sure to ask him what his favourite flag is, of course. Let me set up that raid. Because literally, there's only 2 people on Twitch right now that have got English as their set as their language. So that was a nice, easy one for us. Here before, we go to the stream and he's like, bonjour. Yeah, but I filter it by people that actually put English in their title just in case, because it's just easier. So people need to start doing that more, is all I can say. It just makes it easy for people to find you for raids. Pro tip. And it's just helpful in general, I think, for people. Hence, I only have 2 tags, English and World's Okayest Streamer. That's all you need. Right, so we're going to raid Gavin, ask him what his favourite flag is. I will see you guys on Tuesday. Thank you for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hope your team wins unless they're playing Fulham. I'll see you soon. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.